Pie is done. Pie is done. Good morning. Good morning. Message today. I was thinking about. Hang on. Well, no, let me have to switch. Got something in the background. Some people can hear it. You might be hearing it. I used to be a capitalist. I used to promote capitalism. Now I am a no-ism. I'll tell you why in just a second. I wasn't very surprised. That's why I went on. Good morning. Oh, I'm a little tired this morning. All right. I gotta turn that. You can't hear it. Hold on, wait. Hear that? Let me hear it. Is that Brother Mark? Oh, you actually sent me down this side. Comments up here. Run through the jungle. You know what? Hang on. I was gonna make a post the other day. Brother Mark said this. I gotta post this. Oh yeah. Run through the jungle. Every American nursery should be playing. Every American kid. Stop running through the jungle for a minute. Stop. Run through the jungle. I call myself a reformed capitalist. I needed a few decades to realize it was an argument that humanity's best motivator was death. I kind of want to change that to human children's best motivator was death. This is why I'm not a capitalist. This is why I don't believe in capitalism anymore. At all. I don't believe in it at all. I mean, y'all can say moving forward, but it can't be the motive. It can't be, death cannot be the motivation to get humans to do things. I can't believe anybody's still making that argument. Y'all see this? This is for one of my favorite movies. 28 weeks later, the beginning of the movie. I'll post the link. This is what I was thinking about. He was running in the beginning from some zombies and going to eat his brains. Run through the jungle. Better run through the jungle. Clarence Clearwater Revival. They didn't had it. I was listening to that this morning, and Hendrix. He was dropping All Along the Watchtower. Because I was thinking to myself the other day, like everybody warns their children in my country. I don't know how it works in your country, but in my country, everybody gives their children a warning. Take your privilege and supremacies and all your little isms and throw them out the window. I don't have time for nonsense. Every human parent in America that's not like zoned out on drugs, confused, crippled, crazy, whatever, they give their children a warning message. Now, the length of that message might be different. The content of that message might be different. But every single American parent gives their child a warning once they're of age. And I was thinking about, let me see. So the poor whites, they probably say this, and the poor blacks say this, and the wealthy blacks say this, and the wealthy whites say this, and the poor Hispanics say this, and the poor Asians say this, and the wealthy. But you know, the people born in a trailer park say this, the people who born in the ghetto say this, the people in the Bay Area. Everybody's kind of got their warning. And even the wealthy, the very, very wealthy, the ones behind the gated communities, they got their warning as well. If you sum that message up and just threw out the content, what do you warn them about? The police, the FBI, the CIA, the IRS, the whatever's coming to get you. Something's always coming to get you in this country. The only message that's consistent is you better run. I think that's the only message we need to focus on. You better run through the jungle. Run through the jungle. I tell my kids that was a consistent message. You better run. Don't look back to see. Y'all remember that? Trying to get my thoughts together. There's just so much at the moment. All right, switch the music. Better run through the jungle. As soon as you hit the ground, the beginning of the Terminator. No, it's not the Terminator, the Predator. Where they were falling through the sky. Was it like Predator 3 or 4? Hit the ground, better run. I think that in every maternity ward in our country, they should have run playing. I think that they should have run through the jungle playing. That's kind of what I think. Why? Because you better run. You will die if you don't run. Capitalism is a horrible idea. It was a horrible idea in the beginning, but I used to be. I used to believe in it. I don't believe in it anymore. I think death is the worst motivator for a child. I don't think that that makes sense. That's not a sentient thing to do. You better run through the jungle. Hang on, I was looking at the lyrics this morning. Good morning, how y'all doing this morning? I'm tired today. I'm tired. Bo, thought it was a nightmare. Low is also true. They told me, don't go walking slow, because the devil's on the loose. Oh, you better run through the jungle. That's what I tell my kids, and I hope you tell yours as well. And it's not about what they need to run from. People, they get to, well, if you're this race, that, this is what you need to run for. I think what we need to ask ourselves is, does it make sense to have a society whose motivator is death and slavery? Does that make any sense to anybody? Hang on, I gotta post this. I needed a few decades. I had to keep rereading because my grammar Nazis, man, they know. Y'all wanna check my grammar because they grammar Nazis. I don't leave nobody alone. They rough. They want you to speak the King's English so they can't understand you. That's it right there. I needed a few decades to realize it's an argument that humanity's best motivator was death. Realize, should I put a comment in that? I don't know, I'm gonna post it. All right, done, I'll bring the comments up. I'm a reformed capitalist, but once again, don't y'all start yelling socialism, communism, those are dumb too. But I think the stupidest thing we could have are patent laws and capitalism, whose motivator is death and slavery and imprisonment. Things are a bad idea, they're just a bad idea. And Brother Mark, you kind of put this in my head this morning. Mark had a quote. He was in the Vietnam War. He said he was a low-paid or budget assassin. Is that the right quote? Also envisioned running in the jungle, the Vietnam War. Times came where you just had to run. You just had to, oh, you know what? I didn't even share this out yet. I'm off running my mind. Hang on, let me share. You just had to run. You had to hit the ground and it's time to run. And every American kid should hear that. I mean, the minute they come out the womb, the first thing they need to hear is you better run through the jungle. And that's what I teach my kids. Run through the jungle. Doesn't matter who you are, you better run. Because if you don't run fast, you will die. They will eat you. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the devil. We're dealing with a Satan. We're dealing with demons. We're dealing with spiritual dark energies that I can't even understand, but they used to be in me. I used to argue for capitalism all the time. Oh yeah, it was a good idea. It was a good idea that people born in the wrong location should die. Didn't say it that way. I said it a different way. Oh, it's a good idea. If your brain doesn't function like everybody else's function, you should be in the slow classes. You should be thought of as a lesser. You shouldn't be allowed to have a nice house and a nice car and safety and freedom because you were born with a mental illness. You should die. That's what capitalism says, people. I don't think that way anymore. Yeah, I'm starting a little early this morning. It's hot. It's so hot in here. But that's my confession. It took me 40-some years to realize that. To realize that death is not a good motivator. You can motivate, a person running through the jungle on Epstein Island with death. Sure, yeah, you can do that. And don't run. Don't run. But is that a good thing to do? Is it a good thing to motivate people by death? Like, what was the name of that movie where there was a hunt club? It was a human hunt club. Hang on. Because the devil is on the loose. You better not look back. Don't look back to see what is the name of that movie had, the Human Hunt Club. Because that's actually what it is here. It's a human hunt club. At birth, the children, they better have a good brain, they better get good grades in school, and that's the run. They better know how to run. You better go to college, you better get a degree, you better get as many as possible. You better not do anything like sniff glue to jack up your brain. You better not do anything like be born with bad genetics that doesn't allow you to compete with the other kids, because the other kids will compete you out. And then you'll die. It's not a motivator. Not a motivator. Human Hunt Club. What was the name of that movie? I think it was back in the 80s. Good morning. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Brother Mark. Good morning, Hillary. crosstown traffic such a classic? Yes, it is, Hillary. And there shouldn't be anything called crosstown traffic. Traffic shouldn't exist. If we were a sentient planet, we would not have traffic of people being trafficked, driving in traffic for human trafficking to go do jobs, working for the criminal elite whose corporations need to contribute to the GDP for massive profits that are be turned around, making technology and used against our kids, the next generation. Traffic should not exist. That's what we are. We are a human trafficking nation. We are rolling out a model to destroy the planet, and every baby born in this country should hear run through the jungle. As soon as they come out the womb, they should, before they even cry, before the baby, the doctor smack them. Before they smack, they should hear, better run, You know, you're starting to come out. You like you hear that humbling because you're in the womb and the echo reverberates through all the embryonic fluids and stuff. What the hell is that music? Run through the jungle, I better run. What the hell? That's a good reason to cry. Because you know what? I think if we play that when babies first come out, I don't think the doctor have to smack them. I think they'll be born crying. I think if we're honest with children from the very start, as soon, just before they come out that vaginal thing, what's that thing called? The womb thing. You play run through the jungle. Better run. Zombies gonna get you. They start crying right away. You ain't gotta smack them, the doctor. They don't have to smack them at all. Uh-oh, Brother Mark's in all caps again. Just run. Just hit the ground running. Babies, don't even bother with the umbilical. It'll snap off when you get the going. Hit the ground in America, you better run, or you're gonna die. And I don't think that's a good mom. I don't think that's a good mom. Anyway, good morning. Brother John is up kind of early. Good morning, heaven. All of life's heroes were volunteers. They did it all for freedom, volunteer government, but an idea whose time has come. Yet the time for government's over, Mark. I agree with you. I mean, we have to slowly dissipate it. We have to dilute it. We can't just stop. It's like a statin drug. You can't just stop it. Once you realize it's a stupid idea to take a statin drug for high blood pressure, fighting cholesterol when your body needs cholesterol. Your brain does. You have to come down off a statin. What's the other one called? The doctor's candy, they call it. The chemotherapy drugs. You got to come down off of those things. You can't just stop because it'll jack your body up. You can't just disappear government. I agree with Cap. You can't disappear capitalism right over or immediately as well. But it's the volunteers that did all the good work, Brother Mark. It's the volunteers. You know, that example when you tell people capitalism is a bad idea. It's a bad idea to motivate people with death. It's a bad idea because you want to get someone to run through the jungle, a child on Epstein Island because you want to shoot them. It's a bad idea to get them running. That we do best when our passions are there, our love is there. And that's what I think Brother Mark is saying. Is that when you have people who are passionate for a thing, they'll do it no matter what. Not what they won't do it for money. You don't need to be motivated by money. If you need to be motivated by money, something's wrong with you. You shouldn't need money. If you need money to motivate you, you need to have a room with some padded room with some basil and some plants and trees and some tropicals and like lovely music playing and waterfalls and somebody on a harp. If you need money to get out of bed in the morning, if you need to be motivated to do the things, the passions in your heart to get up, you're in what's called depression. You're in the depression. Your brain literally has a mental illness. It has problems. You go to any daycare on this planet, Brother Mark, what you see kids working on something. You don't ever go to a daycare and just see kids sitting in a corner, do you? You don't ever see them just sitting in a corner doing nothing. No, they do that when the teacher yells at them. That's the only time the kids sit down in the daycare. They want to be free. They got passions. They got things to do. They're volunteering. They have no interest in your money or your capitalism. It's later in life they realize that they should have cried at birth, not because the doctor smacked them, but because the adults are keeping a system of driving human beings like they drive workhorses with whips and chains and whatever they use to drive, the spurs. That's what it is, the spurs on the boots that they use. You better run through the jungle. The devil is on the loose. And I don't think that's a good idea to send little 4-year-olds. Because when do you get out of kindergarten? Is it 4, 5, 6? I don't know. I'm a little aged out of that system. But I think it's a bad idea to have a child from birth. They had to go start getting their education right from the start, teaching them to run. I think you shouldn't have a monstrous system. Maybe you shouldn't have a devil, demonic, criminal government as an economic system to drive children to make them run. Maybe you should let them go run because, I don't know, they want to go run in the woods. Kids like to run anyway. You don't have to motivate the kids. You don't have to motivate the adults. People love to run. Running is a part of the human body. Like, we evolved to run. We got to stay in movement. You don't need to run through the jungle because somebody's shooting at you, throwing a police state at you, throwing taxes at you, throwing laws at you to keep you moving. I don't think you have to do that. I think death as a motivation is a bad idea. I think patents and capitalism mixed together were a double tap. I think it's like a drone strike. The baby's being born in the hospital and we drone strike them, right? Because everything that's ever invented was invented for the human race, by the human race. Corporations don't own any damn patents. That's the craziest thing on the planet. All that's done is held back technological advancement by a couple centuries. We'd be so far into the future by now if we didn't have capitalism and the double tap of patent law. I disagree with all of it. All of it. It's insane. We are literally an insane asylum. This might be part 2, Act of 1871. I'm reformed from capitalism. I was trained at birth that this is a good idea. I almost was trained that Yeshua was believing in capitalism. Like, I didn't think. I couldn't read too well either as a kid. I don't know. I thought I read pretty well. I didn't understand the scripture I was reading. Nah, Yeshua Christ hated banks and money changing. Didn't want nothing to do with it. Didn't want nothing to do with Caesar governing, the securing of free will from human beings. A baby's supposed to be born into freedom, not into a war like the Vietnam War where they gotta run or die. That's what the education system is. That's why kids need they got a degree up. Degrees are like grenades. They're like bullets for the gun. They got to get out and compete. I'm a reformed capitalist, y'all. I used to believe in it. Now I can't stand. Now that I really understand what it is, now I understand it is literally a system of run. It's a mistake. All right, anyway, good morning. Good morning, Heaven. Good morning, Sherry. Ivana. I mean, tell me what you think about that. That's just where my mind is at. I really don't have much I want to talk about today. I was just processing that. Run through the jungle, all along the watchtower, Vietnam War, children being born at birth, having to run from zombies called Democrats and Republicans. I'm sorry. I say that and I know the view count to go down like, you keep saying that, they're not going to watch. I know, I get it, I know. But these identities are killing things. Literally killing things. We shouldn't have a murderous system. Is that the scene of 28 weeks later? Yes, Daniel, you saw the movie. 28 weeks later. Yeah, I'll post the link, just the beginning. That's all you have to watch. And that's like a baby being born in America. I know they got the mobile plane. They got that playing and the doctor and all of that. And the baby's so cute. No, kiss the baby. Oh, yeah. That's not what I hear, Daniel. I hear 28 weeks later, in the very beginning, they're hiding in the house. The baby's hiding in the womb, kind of looking out the window. And then the baby, because the window, like in the window in the beginning when she saw the light and she looked out the window and the zombies saw her and then they broke in. And when they broke in, they had to run. Y'all got to watch the movie. What was that, Daniel? The first 2 minutes of the movie, he was running like hell. I think that's a bad idea. I think babies should be born in like pretty environments, happy, freedom. The adults are protecting the baby like the babies are a part of their species. Instead of being born in the damn Serengeti, we're like lions who like birth babies, Daniel. Instead of like birthing them in a den where they're safe and they're free, and then the hyenas can't get them, we're like a female lion. Just walk on right over to the hyena's den. So I'm gonna have my baby in the middle of hyena territory, and I'm just gonna teach my baby as soon as it's born. You're just gonna have to run. I think it's a bad idea. But the beginning of the movie, you need to watch it. It gets your heart pumping. I don't do zombies, but 28 weeks later, that's fake news anyway. That's fake zombie news. Everybody knows zombies don't really run like that. Yes, I talk about zombies like they're real. Zombies go slow. When I was a child, when I was a baby, because I'm still a child, I'm still waiting on my freedom. I'm a grown kid in some ways. I'm still waiting to go play. I have not played enough in my life. I had to stop being a kid when I don't know how old I was. But here, you got to 4? 5, get you in daycare, because my mama had to go back to work. She had to run through the jungle. I worked for the Pentagon. He had to go back running through the jungle. So now I'm here in this room with all these kids and some damn tricycles and teddy bears. It's never enough for everybody. Pick up sticks and the monkeys in the barrel, like a bunch of baby monkeys in a barrel. And now I got to compete with them. Babies, you're supposed to be free. You should be free like a little lion cub. They don't release the lion. Did the Lion King take Simba and drop him off with Scar? No, didn't happen. Damn cartoons love their kids more than we do. Anyway, good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Ron. Capitalism is so passe, market. It's passe. It is a dead system. It needs to die. We need to bury it. It needs to go to hell away. What the hell's wrong with YouTube this morning? Hang on. I'm not there. They just didn't say anything yet. They're listening. The capitalists, are y'all on YouTube? The capitalists. But you know, once again, you know, I don't debate it from the whole socialism or communism perspective. I think that's stupid too. They murder people like everybody else. Good morning, Beaufont. How you doing this morning? Brother John said, hard to kill. Yeah, but I don't think we need kids that are hard to kill. I think we need kids that don't have to worry about killers. I don't think we need kids that should be tough. I don't think we need kids that know what neighborhoods to go into and what to say to the police state and what their rights are and have to recite them. I don't think we should need kids. I think if you got to teach kids civics, that they're free, if you have to teach them how to usurp power, voting against other people to steal their rights, hey, if you got to do that, you don't have a society. You got an unsociety. I think kids should be born and you just let them go explore like lion cubs. I think we should love our children as much as the lions love their cubs, as much as the hyenas love their cubs, as much as the bears love their cubs. Let them go out and explore and find their world. Yeah, you teach them, don't go over there, don't go over there. That's bad space over there. Don't play in the water. Look out for the big grizzlies. But I don't think we should be all big grizzlies preying on little children. Because we do it too. Like if you think about how this pyramid system works, the more money I make, the less money new kids coming out of college slavery are gonna make. Coming out of college, they're training to get jobs to be slaves in a forced labor establishment for the GDP. I'm competing with them. Which, in that analogy, I'm competing with the babies coming out the womb. The first step into daycare, we're competing for money. I think that's a dumb idea. I feel guilty about having a warm bed to sleep in at night and their children sleeping in caves in cities in the United States. I feel guilty about that. Why the hell do I want to compete with a child and lower the cost of labor by me raising my ability to do my job so they're in conflict with me for currency so they don't die? That's not a system. That's not a system, people, not a sentient one. Anyway, good morning, Mary. Good morning, Courtney. Surviving the game. Yes, Courtney, it's a game of death. That's all it is. It's a game of death. And I don't think it's a good idea anymore. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Mary. And that was the only thing I disagree with Ron Paul on. Love that brother to death. But I don't think he's thought it through. I don't think he started through, and I think he was born at a different time too. But also I kind of cheat. Like once again, I worked in the automation industry and I realized that we actually don't have to have kids being born into nurseries having to run. You know, we don't have to have, you know, poor kids born in trailer parks and ghettos learning how to steal because the world that was built by all their ancestors and them, if you believe in reincarnation, created all this technology so everyone could share and we have everything that we needed. It's like humans don't need motivation. Another thing, humans don't need motivation. Something is always coming to get it. It's not the damn swine flu or what they made with the karaoke virus or SARS or asteroids or pole shifts or floods or volcanoes, aliens, microbiology, pathogens. Something's always trying to murder the American citizen and the whole world citizen. I'm talking from perspective of humanity. Something's always coming to murder humanity. You don't need to create debt by threat of death and enslavement if you don't pay your taxes. If you can't live homelessness, you don't have to threaten children into doing what's right. They're born into a family. Either we're gonna act like a family or we'll keep acting like fools. Hey, brother Mark, you gotta tone that down, brother. I can't. That's because you're yelling at me. That's what they're trying to tell you. When you type in all caps, it's kind of hard. Type in all lowercase, because then it's hard for me to actually read too. Hillary said a vaginal thing. Yeah. Well, they're safe places. Like real talk. I'm not trying to go down that road, but those are very safe places for babies. You know, and if I honestly, if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have any kids. I think if I really thought about it now, I wouldn't have them. I mean, they made me the person that I am today. Like everything I am is because of them. Everything I do is because of them. They don't know that, but that's okay. They'll know that in the future. Kids aren't supposed to know that. It's not their job to know that. I wouldn't have kids today. And I'm not telling people not to have kids. I just wouldn't do it. Like now that I get how much this system hates them, how much it wants to enslave them, if they don't make as much for the GDP as possible, that their only right is to die or to be put into prison, I wouldn't have kids today. I wouldn't do that to a monkey. I wouldn't do it to a slug. I wouldn't even do that to okra. I wouldn't do it. Well, our system is too evil. It has to be flipped. It has to be, we need a complete paradigm shift. Running is not a great motivator for people to go get jobs and get degrees and go out and pretend they love the jobs that they do. No, people like to pretend. People like to pretend, oh, I love my job. I love my job. Oh yeah, you just ask them, would you do it for free? Would you do it for free? And it's like, well, I'm not saying all that. I know you're not saying all that. You don't love your job. You do your job through a formula. You determine what you kind of like versus what you're good at. Another factor might be how much money does it pay? Another factor, how long is this slavery plantation going to exist in the current industry? How long can I be a slave? How good is cotton doing? Yeah, I guess I'll pick cotton, because picking wheat, you don't make as much money. Picking cotton, they just created the cotton gin, so cotton has a future. So I'm going to go get my degree and become an accountant. That's slavery. That's all slavery. But there are a lot of aspects to that formula. If you wouldn't do it for free, you shouldn't do it. And that's the world that we have right now with the current technological advancements that we have in the public domain, let alone the private sector, let alone the stuff I've signed NDAs for that I can't even talk about. And I ain't seen nothing. I have not seen nothing. All right. Hard to Kill, with Steven Seagal. Yeah, I don't think children should be Steven Seagal. I don't think the kids being born should know how to do karate flips and fight. I don't think we should allow anything to fight our offspring, right? I think that we should be like a lion pack. We should be smart as lions, and we fail at the sentient level of becoming as smart as lions. But yeah, right from the uterus baby, right? Like right from the vagina. No, right from the womb, hell no, I wouldn't come out. Lori, that'd be the first time in my life I'd run from the vagina. I'd run. I wouldn't even run. If I was in the womb and I was about to come out, yeah, I'm gonna be born. I'm like swimming around, about to be born. It's my birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. And I start hearing that Clarence Clearwater revival in the background. There's some Jimi Hendrix all along the watchtower. I start hearing that in the background. That ain't daddy singing. That ain't mommy singing. I hear that in the background. Hell no, I ain't coming out. I'm going the other way, Lord. I go the other way. Hell no. I see that. Is that a vagina? The music coming from that direction and it's open to see some light. Oh, hell no. What's out there? No, it ain't safe. It ain't warm. Ain't no freedom. You know, you gotta fight every day. And you gotta fight against the adults to educate yourself, to get a degree, to go so you have a right to live. Hell no. Speaking of that, you ain't got no free speech. Did y'all hear about Assange? Finally, they're saying was true, and I'm just waiting. You can go ahead and bring the Assange CIAers. I love y'all to death, but I don't think y'all understand how this works. You work for the deep state if you're fighting Assange. If he's a hero or villain to you, something wrong. Something wrong. Because they what was on Redacted tonight? What was on Redacted? Yeah, Lee Camp mentioned that the case is being made right now by the U.S. Incorporation to, I'm not going to call it the government no more. I'm going to try the U.S. corporation to extradite Assange is being made on the principle that journalists do not have free speech anywhere on earth. They are literally making the case that journalists do not have free speech. And now you see why this is happening. Now you see why they went after Assange. It doesn't matter if he was CIA. It doesn't matter if he was FBI. It doesn't matter if he was MI7. It doesn't matter if he was in league with the bankers. It doesn't even matter. None of that matters. It doesn't even matter if he was a free guy just doing a good thing. It doesn't matter. Like now you see the intent of the scam. The scam is journalists around this world will not chastise the Sith. You will not chastise the Sith Incorporated Empire. You won't chastise them, and they won't do it. So it's already done. Like, say, oh, well, they're not going to win on that case because journalists got free speech. Do you think there's a journalist anywhere in this world that's going to stand up against the American empire right now? You won't ever travel to a U.S. ally. You won't ever travel anywhere you got a Rothschild bank because they'll grab you and throw you in a prison. So it's already done. The threat has already been made. The gauntlet's already been thrown down. But that's why it was there. And so while people out there arguing, fussing, fighting, CIA, he's this, he's that, whatever, you wasted time. You not only wasted time and energy, you weren't even fighting the whole purpose, right? You're up here fighting side effects, fighting things that don't matter. Always fight on the principle level. The principle level is we always have to know what's true. But you're fighting on whether or not it's a conspiracy and he's with the CIA, whoever. The bottom line is the empire requires no free speech, And that's not a surprise to me. I literally have never in my life had free speech. Maybe I ask a question. I got a lot of people in the U.S. here. Have y'all ever been? I've been here 45, 6, 7, 29 years. I've been here 29 years. I have never felt the ability to speak freely. I couldn't even speak freely in kindergarten. The teacher said, shut up. My mama told me, I've never had free speech. Never, ever. I used to have protests. You had to go and get the permit to have a protest. You get in certain places you can go, can't go, certain things you can say. And if you speak too well, they're not going to take you and have a trial. They'll just treat you like Martin Luther King and they'll shoot you. That's it. No, there's no free speech in America. Did JFK have free speech? Talking about secret society. The president doesn't even have free speech. That's not how this works. That's not how this capitalistic system was designed. America is finally showing the world and its citizens what it was designed to do, and it's doing a fantastic job. You better run. Right from birth. You better have your sneakers on when you come out the womb. The minute you get out that vagina, you don't even look back. Don't look back to see. You better run. Get that goo off your face, get the purple stuff out your eyes and the green stuff out your mouth. Throw that mess away. You better start running. This is America. We will kill you. Ooh, yes, Georgia, welcome to the jungle. That's it. Guns and Roses. We got fun and games, but it ain't no fun. And this ain't no damn game. Welcome to the jungle. No, we do not have no fun. That'd be just enough fun to keep you running. When you're ahead of the pack, you're ahead of everybody else, you're gonna have a little fun. Like I said, if I go to the woods and I'm hanging out with Rebecca and them, and they got alligators and crocodiles and wolves and bears and things that want to eat me, I'm gonna make sure I take my fat friends. I love them to death. I love y'all to death, and that's why I keep y'all around, because y'all got to come with me. We're gonna go to the woods. It'll be a little bit fun for me because I'm gonna be in front of you. Because I don't have to outrun the bear and the crocodile and the alligator. All I got to do is outrun you. So hey, yeah, it's fun for the people in front. It's fun for the upper middle class. It's fun for the upper class to a degree. It's fun, and it's so much fun. And that's why the fun is designed that way. Because they're kind of having some fun. They don't have a heart, right? They're having fun. They don't have any kind of a conscience, right? Because you're doing pretty well. You got a nice house, got a nice car, but it means that you have to drive past kids that are poor on the street without shoes and pretend like you don't see them. It's fun. They put the fun in there. Welcome to the jungle, and it's fun for anybody who's in the front to a degree. But you can't like freedom because you're still a slave. And there ain't no games. There ain't no games, Jordan. Ain't no games. That was the only fake news. Fake Guns N' Roses news. Ain't no games. It's real. You will die. We will let you die. We will let you die from our middle class McMansions and not give two damns. Get up the next day and be worried about coronavirus. Good morning, Patricia. Anyway, want to get rid of the Supreme Court? Hell yeah, Brother Mark. The Supreme Court shouldn't be there. Supreme Court is a corporation. No judges work for corporations. You should not have a Supreme Court. Besides the fact, they got an eye problem. They can't read a damn thing. They've never read the Constitution, have no idea what the Bill of Rights is, or at least that's what I thought. Till I realized they were a corporation. They're not beholden to your rights. They're not beholden to a constitution. They're actors like everybody else. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Sinclair. That's why I ain't voting. That's why I have no interest in politics. What's up, Sister Patricia? Good morning, Melissa. I'm going to do some comments. I'm done. My rant is over. Good morning, Savannah, Adam, Deborah. I don't want to be here for 3 hours. Good morning, Maha. Actually, I do. I do this all day. But this is not what I get paid to do. I get paid to run through the jungle. That's our job. All along the watchtower. The devil is on the loose. And don't look back to see. We could just go through the lyrics. Like that's, you know, you don't have to play the music. All you got to do is have a preacher in the background when kids are born. Just have them just read the lyrics. Better run through the jungle. Whoa, don't look back to see. All right. My children are happy and loved. They are taught appropriately as they grow. Respect manners and the truth. That's a great thing, Daniel, and I appreciate that. Love you for that, Daniel. Love your kids because they're my kids too. Takes a village to raise children. However, don't teach them too much love. Don't teach them too much. Better teach them to run first. Teach them how to run first. Yeah, respect, not too much respect. Not here. Not here. That's who they kill first. Those are the people that they take out. They don't take out the people with apathy. They take out the people who got all the love, respect, and kindness, and who are successful at getting other people to have love, respect, and kindness. But I'm kind of joking. Yeah, Dan, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to teach them that. But we as the adults need to be fighting to fix this system. We need to be fighting to do a paradigm shift so children don't have to learn how to fight to live. They shouldn't have to be fighting for food anymore. They shouldn't be little orphan Oliver asking for more porridge. Difficulty to teach children how to thrive in the woods, in the world, the way it is, and to be the change that they want to see in the world. It is difficult, Rebecca. It's impossible. I don't think it's difficult. It's impossible. And that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun for the cabal. That's part of the Welcome to the Jungle fun. Maybe that's the game part, because you can't really teach it. Like, there's no way to teach a child in this current setup how to survive. You have no idea what they're going to face, when they're going to face it, how they're going to face it. All you know is you got big banks, big corporations, and all the foolish politicians that all work for them. And everybody in the nation, all 300 million people fighting to get the upper side of what they need. I don't know. How do you teach a child to compete against 300 million people and corporations? I don't know how you do that. I think it's impossible. Like, I don't know. You got to give them some nukes or something. Love, respect, and kindness for all are born into. Yeah, well, they're born into it, Stephanie, right? You know what I mean? With their family, in the nursery, and the love and everything. But all that love is fake news. All of that love in that nursery around mom and dad, everybody, oh, we're so happy to see you. Just kissing the goo. That ain't gonna stay. You're gonna have to learn how to run. No, she was saying good morning. All right, this is what I'm gonna try to do. I'm trying to get better at my game, what I'm doing here. So I'm actually reading old comments here and looking at new comments here. I'm gonna try my best. It's hard to run through the jungle, but I'm learning. I'm trying to get, hey, look at that. Brother Mark is learning. Look, he's typing lowercase. Let me see. But the only problem is up here, I can't see who y'all are replying to. Let me see. Howdy. Good morning, Citizen Deb. There's so many songs that tell the story. When I was a baby, my mom kept the radio going in my room so she could make noises and vacuum while I was napping. Love that she did that. Why would she do that, Dad? You're supposed to be vacuuming. You're supposed to be sitting in there chilling in your room with the music and mama vacuuming. My mama, she ain't do that. What kind of mama you got, Dad? I didn't know. My mama, hell no. No, it was no vacuuming in the house while mom was working, while I'm listening to the radio. That ain't never happened. I don't even know what that looked like. Don't know what it smelled like. No, my mother, to a degree, she knew I had to run through the jungle. She knew. She taught me how to sweep, mop, dust, vacuum, clean the walls, clean the toilets, the floors. She sit on it. If necessary, she sit down if she got tired, but she worked with us. That never happened. She never played some music for me. She put on some Al Green and Sam Cooke Saturday morning right after cartoons, and I knew it was time to run. I got the hell out the house. You had to run through the jungle. Otherwise, I'd be working like the federal government set up with the Federal Reserve and all. I'd be running through the jungle. Look, please, I run. As soon as I saw, that's like being born in America. I Saturday morning, the cartoons is over. You just kind of finish your lunch, and the mom's just, all right, it's time to do some work. Oh no, you got to run. Got to go be free. I like being free. I don't like slavery. I don't like being forced into labor, being forced that I gotta clean a house. And it's toxic anyway. The house was off gas, and it wasn't like a hemp house. It wasn't like a cob house. It wasn't an earthen house. It was one of these new houses that less than 20% of the world population lives in. The ones with all the toxic chemicals made from like China, where nobody's doing any testing on anything. And they're just putting all the radiation and everything. And the Americans bring it here and they paint it all up. And then they bring the baby and they put the baby in the nursery. I don't know why people do that. They buy all that plastic stuff, all the most toxic stuff on the planet, all the mobiles. They have these things called, what's the baby party? When you're about to have a new, fresh, organic, natural human baby, and you have everybody come to the party and they bring all the toxins and chemicals, and then you paint the new room with all the toxic chemical paint, and you set the whole thing up with one big toxic waste dump, and you put the little baby in that room. We gotta run it, bro. We gotta run in so many ways. We do so many foolish things. It's just insane. Them zombies are fast. They are fast, Daniel. That's what I'm saying. 28 weeks later, that was not real zombie news. It was fake zombie news, but it was real in terms of how the American society works, right? Is it real in terms of what did most of the West too? I mean, I don't know anything about most of the West. I know. I see a lot of complaints from our friends from the other Western countries. If you're in the third world, this is what you need to be paying attention to. Do not do what we're doing. It's a bad idea. Do the people look happy? We're a mental illness asylum of a setup. And right about now, mamas in third world countries, because they flip the script. Because when I was a kid, my mom used to teach me, you gotta eat all your peas, baby, because kids starving in Africa. I was just like, I don't care about the kids in Africa, Mom. I mean, I'm being real with you. I don't care about no damn kids in Africa. I'm right here and I hate peas. I don't know nothing. I don't know them. I know kids down the street. I know kids at the school. I know a lot of kids. I ain't know nobody in Africa, Mama. I don't care nothing about them. They can have my peas. You can just put them in a bag and ship them, and they can eat all them peas. Right now, I think the moms in Africa and rest around the world probably teach it, listen, you need to eat all your guabe, baby, because it's kids in trailer parks and ghettos starving in America, all over the West. They don't have no freedom and they're starving. All right, anyway, how to protect children and give them a safe future. I think the only way we can protect children, Christine, is you have to keep them as far from the federal government as possible and stop voting is my thought. That's my first thought. My first thought is just protest. My first thought is, wait a minute, we don't know where this ship is going. We need to put the brakes on this, right? So imagine, Christine, in that example, you're in Africa, some ships come, some other people who look like you, take you, capture you, because you don't have guns, put you on a boat with people that ain't your color and race, and the boat is going somewhere. I don't think the idea is you want to keep that boat going. If you're chained up and one of the chains are loose, you get your hands free and you're on the boat, you realize it's a slave boat because you look around and everybody else is chained down, people defecating and peeing and everything coming through the top of the deck and all kinds of, they're not taking you to Pandora. You're not going to a fun place. You're not going to Elysium. I don't think we're going to go anywhere that's going to have freedom because you're in chains. If you know you're a slave now and you're in this system, I think the first thing you want to do if you get your chains free is you want to stop going that direction. For me, that's what stop voting is. I'm not interested in the system. I don't want to vote for where this boat is going. Why? Because I'm here against my will. That's why. And nobody else here looks happy. I don't see nobody smiling. Everybody else is chained up on this boat. I don't think I want this boat to get to where it's going. I think the first thing you do is you protest. Love zombie flicks. Daniel, I got every single zombie flick on the planet, mostly because I train my children what it's like to be an American. With banks and pharmaceutical industries and chemical industries and pesticide companies and water companies trying to kill them. That's what I got all the zombie movies. My parents were hippies. It was when I was a baby. Oh, okay, Citizen Dad. Well, they loved you. A baby in the crib. Oh, baby in the crib. Well, okay. So you're in the crib. When you're in the crib, they give you low vacuums. You get out the crib, you got the little popping vacuum. You got the little plastic one from China. You push on it, go pop, 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 pop. We teach kids from the very beginning how to be slaves. We teach them how to clean them nasty carpet things. We should have been teaching them how to burn the carpet, rip it out, put some natural wood floors down, and start and get rid of the carpet that create the worst bacteria to give everybody all kind of OPCD, inhalation, lung disease issues. But they got that little pop vacuum. We teach them from the very beginning how to be slaves, and that's what the school systems are for. Oh, Department of Education. It's like giving them a pop vacuum. It's teaching them what the rest of their life is going to be like. Shut up, sit down. It's time for water. Everybody get in line. We're going to go get the water. Stop, get in line, shut up. It's time to go to the bathroom. Get in the bathroom. It's like that indoctrination, getting kids ready. Getting them ready for the slavery, like pop vacuums. Let me see. Then kissing Africa caused me to be 300 pounds. Whoa, Stephanie, what? Hey, whoa, I missed that one. Was that the following another conversation? Let me see. When the Sam Elliott is Susan Worcester. Put out an APD on Susan. Okay, Mark. Well, Susan, she's not been around as much. She's not been around. She don't like the low vibe. She don't like the sometimes low vibes. She got high vibe things to do. She watches later though. Good morning, Steven. That's good. Honor the children in you, keeps you young and happy. Kid, we're all children, Christine. We all should be playing. We should be playing our whole life. If we do the things that we love, we would play our whole life. And that's what I'm all for. Happy people who are playing in life do happy things. You meet happy kids, they're happy. They're running circles around you, popping you with a pop gun, having fun, and then to run, climb a tree, jump a bush, run over here, do this, that, yell, scream, like you go to a playground and it's fun. And there's very few fights happening on a playground. Very few currency conflicts and wars happening on playgrounds. They're just playing. And I think we build a world where the adults are allowed to play because we use the existing technology, let people just go be free and chase their passion. You'll have doctors, you won't need lawyers because you won't have many laws. You really won't have many police because that's rarely going to happen. Rarely will anybody give up a free, fun, enjoying life that's like being on a playground. You got people like me who will be making the robots, who will be printing the houses and printing the cars and 3D printing your food and whatever, because it's fun. That's what I call fun. What's fun for you and fun for somebody else there's 7 billion different people on this planet. Everybody got a different thing they call fun that they want to create. But that's the key. We love creation. We are a creation, in my opinion, and we love to create. You don't need a currency system to force people what to do. You don't need a debt system. We love to create. And so if you got 7 billion different people creating different things based on their passion, and they love doing it, they do it to 3 a.m. till they solve a problem. I got problems that I'm working on, that I'm doing something I love doing. I work on it all night. I forget, and next thing I know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm doing something I love doing. Back when I loved writing, we love to create. You don't need banks to tell you to move forward. You don't need currency to motivate people. We are creators. Everything. And when people need breaks and to eat some mushrooms or something, they'll take a break. It doesn't really matter. You got 7 billion Nikola Teslas creating. That's how you make a beautiful world. You turn the earth into a playground. Well, it was always a playground. It was always a playground. They just turned it into a colony. All right. Let me go down. Okay, good morning, Jillian. Good morning. Like Trish Blankenship's kids, explore outdoors. Yeah, Lori, with Trish, she's on it. She's a little further advanced than a lot of us. And I think she lives in a place where her kids are a lot freer than a lot of ours, where they can run and go play and do things. Babies and children should always be with someone that loves them. You know what, Rebecca, can we add to that and say babies and children should be in a society that gives a damn about them? Minimum. I'm not even sure the society has to love them, Rebecca. It just has to give a damn about it. Like, babies and children should be born in a society that's not okay with them dying from lack. A capitalistic system. Minimum. Bare minimum. I don't think love might be going too far, Rebecca, for where our brains are evolved at this moment in time. Maybe babies just need to be born in a system to family and people around them that love them, but then a system that is slightly concerned for them. A little slightness. I feel guilty all the time. I feel guilty. I got fresh water to drink, and a lot of kids in Flint, Michigan, and cities all over the country. I love to find a group of friends that would play tag, that would play tag. Yeah, well, Valerie, there are a lot of people who play tag. I see on the outskirts in Virginia. I think it was around Georgetown, somewhere around. And they were playing. The adults were playing. They had this big grassy field like you're in the city. I think it was Georgetown. I forgot why we were over there. But anyway, they had all these restaurants surrounding this big grassy lawn. They had this big old mega 50-foot television, and people are having picnics and eating food and watching TV, and the adults are running and playing tag. Yay! Having fun! Woo! The kids are running, tackle football, everybody's having fun. And just right over the river, Washington, D.C., got kids with trash all over the street and no food. And so there are a lot of people playing. There are a lot of people, and not too far down from that, St. Charles, where I used to, my old stomping ground used to be St. Charles, Maryland, and Akakeek, where you got kids in these poor rural communities that didn't even have shoes. There are a lot of people playing. But we need to make the earth a playground for everybody, I think. And then just stop letting survival of the luckiest be the ones that are playing. Good morning, Gabrielle. I play all the time too. Who's that? Valerie? I play all the time. I got friends on here. We play. we play, but they get banned all the time because you can't play too much on Facebook. They don't play. They don't play. Did y'all see the Mark Zuckerberg Hitler mock-ups? I have friends on here. We play. Memes are some of the funnest things on the play. I love memes. I'll make a post and it's like serious Valley, like I'm trying to be serious, like, oh, we got to save the world, unity. You know, stop your identity, stop it. You know, then I'm like, I see a meme and I post it. They did. Who did that do this morning? Who found this one? We play. You know what? I think we have to play. We got to find different ways to play too. I play all the time. I can't be serious for too long because I try to be serious and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work. I get too serious. I'm like, I'm posting. I'm like, you know, I'm like doing something. What was I planting this morning? I planted a whole bunch of random seeds this morning because I always save my seeds and I got packs and stuff. And I don't even know what they are half the time. Sometimes I don't label them. And germination rates, I won't bore you with that. And so I'm doing my play in the garden and I'm looking and I'm like being serious, like, stop it. We need to save the children. We need to evolve. We need to grow the hell up. We got food for everybody. And I see a meme and I just start laughing my butt off and I have to post it. Hang on, let me show you. and only I could post this one. I think Crystal might have made this one. Christ, Yeshua Christ Henderson. I think she might have made. No, it's not this one. Hang on. Oop. Is that the right? No, that's not. Is that my timeline thing? I don't think that's the timeline screen. Hold on. I think she made this one. And I don't know if she posted on her timeline. I think she's smart enough to realize that she'll get banned and they'll call her a racist or something like that. So she can't post it on her timeline. Which is why I say I miss that time back when anybody could say anything about anybody. I miss the 80s. I so much miss the 80s. All right, I think this will do it. Let me see if I can move this over. Get my screen just adjusted. No, what was this? Oh, this was kind of funny. If you're born an American child and you're being chased by banks, don't play dead. Oh, don't play dead. Don't play dead. It ain't a game. It's not a game. They will literally stuff you. They will stuff you. If you're getting older in America, you're a senior citizen thinking about retiring, don't play dead. They don't care that you play dead. They will take you and literally steal everything that you got. They'll give you Alzheimer's, put you in a home. They'll run up your healthcare costs to a point where they can take your house, your car, your land, so your kids ain't got nothing. Don't play dead. They don't care. They don't care if you're dead or alive. Necrophilia is a thing. They don't give two damns in this nation. They don't care. You can play dead all you want. They will take you and make glue out of you. Okay? They don't care. I play all the time. Some of y'all don't like the way we play. I think Crystal did. Y'all been she posted this one on one of these little side. We have these side conversations going in threads. If you ever come down play with us, y'all ever come to our town and play with us, just look for any of the threads that's got like 1,000 1,000 comments. This is where they play all the memes. This is where we play. When I get tired and bored, I'll go click on something else and somebody makes something crazy. But you know, if you I posted it, I stole it, I jacked it. So you can share it now. The good thing is in America is safe. You may not be caught for being racist about lips as anything. Did y'all watch this? This is from the movie's not called Bubba Gump. What's the name of it? This is Bubba Gump. This is Bubba, and he started Bubba Gump Shrimp with his friend. I forgot his name. His friend. What's the name of this movie? Gump, Forrest Gump. Is that the name of the movie, Forrest Gump? Anyway, you can share it now. You couldn't share it, Crystal, because if Crystal shared it, Crystal doesn't have the skin privilege to share it. I got the skin privilege. So now you can share it and say, look who posted it, you know. But we have fun. We play all the time, Valerie. The problem is then you got Beaufont and Daniel and some of them, Chris, they'll keep going to jail. So it's limited fun. The teacher always shows up and puts somebody in. I always got friends in Facebook prison and jail. Oh, who just got out of jail? Tony. Y'all know Tony Smith? He just got out of jail. They let him go. I got some thoughts on that. Why is Tony always going to jail outside of the fact that he says things that are true that people don't like? And most of the friends that he said, most of his friends are people that don't like what he's saying. I'm gonna tell you, I think I discovered one of the secrets. Facebook ain't even around. Like, I appreciate the whole Zuckerberg being Hitler, because that's fun, it's funny, but he has nothing to do with it. And Facebook, I don't even think around. I don't even think people even look at this. Half the time, they don't know who's going to jail. They have an automated system that does that. I think I discovered something. I think, see, Tony Smith was with the Green Party, and so was I for a period of time. But when Tony woke up, see, I used to be with the Democrat Party. I used to even be with the Republican Party at some point in my life when I liked defense and I wanted to go in the Air Force, stuff like that. But most of the people who don't like me are Democrats. They don't, because you know what? When I woke up, I was kind of closely affiliated with them. So I'm very familiar with their dirt more than anybody else. I'm more familiar with their corruption and the crime bill and slavery and the Violence Against Women Act, and all the laws that they wrote that were completely the opposite of everything they pretend to stand for. I'm very familiar with their police state and what they did in Washington, D.C., and I'm very familiar with the Black Caucus and what they were up to. So usually people cheering that, they don't like me too much. They're the ones who would love to put me in prison. They don't care. They love all they will. So this is what I think it is if Tony's around. Tony's got his friends. They're mostly Green Party. Most of his friends are Green Party. So when he posts things, it's usually against the Green Party. He's yelling and screaming at them. He's calling them morons, and they're reporting them. And you get so many reports on a post, you automatically go to jail. I think there's just an algorithm. I don't think people even look at it. They have no idea who's going to prison. You know, you got enough people who are following you that annoyed you. And I think, who was it? I think Beaufort was another one. He keep posting sexualized memes. And you have enough people who report the post, they just automatically, they throw you in jail, they don't even think about it. I think that's probably the 3-day jail term. So you need to think about who's on your friends list. It might be time to start deleting people. You start thinking people are reporting you need to delete. If you know some people on social media who are antisocial, you need to start deleting. I think that's where we are. And I think I might have to do it too. I think because I don't appreciate going to jail. You get tired of that stuff after a while. Like, why are so many sellouts around? Like, why the hell I got so many sellouts on my friends list? Good morning, Emilio. But anyway, I think that's what that is. I think that's the Facebook jail. It's an algorithm. And it's just based on how many people report you. And you have a lot of people who are flocking on Tony that don't like him because he's speaking against the Green Party, because that was where he went through his greatest awakening period. He's out of jail. There is no free press. No, Jeannie, there's no free press. There never will be. America does not stand for free speech. It never has. It never will. No corporation on this planet stands for free speech. The United States is a corporation. It happened in 1871. We covered that. No corporation allows you to speak freely. If you work for Bayer Drugs, you don't speak against Bayer Drugs. If you work for Merck Pharmaceutical, you don't speak against Merck Pharma. If you work for the water company, you don't say anything about the water. If you work for, and that's just how that works, right? If you're Paul Stamens and you know mushrooms, you don't speak about portobello mushrooms if somebody threatens your life. Corporations have no interest in free speech. Snitches get stitches. Yes, they do. Who posted that? Daniel. That's exactly what it is. There is no free speech. Don't pretend, because that's how they said it on Redacted Tonight, with the way it was put out, that America's using, said, well, you know, foreign journalists are not protected under America's free speech laws. America actually has no free speech. None that are effective. None that are effective. I self-censor myself every single day in this criminal sith of an imperial nation. Every single day. And I long for the day, for the final episode when the empire loses. I self-censor all the time. You can't say certain things. You know, like, it's a great country, and at least you're here that you can speak against it. Yeah, I can speak against it. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And I speak, well, I don't speak against the nation. I speak against the principles of slavery, war, killing people, rape, women not having rights, and starving poor children. Like, I speak against those things. I don't speak against the nation, but I'm not effective. That's why I'm still here. When I'm effective, I'll be deleted from Facebook. When I'm effective, I'll be deleted from YouTube. When I'm affected, I'll be either thrown into prison or deleted from America. But, you know, to a degree right now, I don't think we got much of a choice. And not only that, I'm old enough. I lived a great life. I really don't care what they do. I could care less. I have an obligation as an adult in this country to every single child to make sure America goes back to standing for America's principles, right? And that's not apple pie and baseball. It's supposed to be freedom. It's supposed to be all the lies they gave us in civics class. And that'll free the rest of the world, minding their own damn business. If we believe in freedom and free speech, they wouldn't be fighting freedom and free speech. You know, if Obama believed in, what did he say? He believed in transparency, but he was the president who fought whistleblowers the most. You can say anything you want before you go in. Once you get in, you're going to do exactly what was purchased by these corporations from the rest of the politicians in both parties. It really is that simple. You know, we're either fighting at the principle level or we might as well just give up, you know, because you're fighting for the deep state. You're fighting for the control system, you know, and that was my point with the whole Assange's CIA nonsense. If you're saying Assange's CIA, you're literally fighting for the deep state. You're literally helping them. And yes, I did post that. Yes, I posted that at first because I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, I saw the things like, oh, Assange is linked to the CIA. I think I posted once or twice. And after a while, I thought about it. It's like, well, what does it matter? If he's done more than I have, he's fought war. He started a whole anti-war movement. Doesn't matter if it's CIA. And is he CIA and not even know he's CIA? They even got double agents. They got people who don't even know they are. And they control all the information. So it doesn't really matter at the principal level. They release the information. We're killing innocent people with the wars. The wars are not for freedom and democracy and liberty. They're for profit, corporations, banks, controls, and burning nations that don't want Rothschild banks. We know that. We learned it from him or from WikiLeaks. And the reason all this is playing out is because they want to make sure that no journalist speaks up against America. And right now, you're not going to have anybody, anywhere, that says 100% truthful things about the Sith Empire. None of them, because the Sith they got the little laser things. They got what them called lightsabers. The Siths were called lightsabers. They call them dark sabers. Nobody's gonna speak against America right now. They got drones and they will murder you. They're basically saying that you cannot chastise the empire or you will die. Being American, I already know that. I'm not a gaslit, you know, lost American. I'm an actual American. So now the journalists internationally are being brought down to the speech level of Americans. Good morning, Melody. Good morning, Diana. Loki, or I'll call you. Good morning, Susan. All right, let me get down. We have comments over here. Good morning, brother Paul. Artificial scarcity will be their downfall for sure. It will, Mark. The system's collapsing. I appreciate what was it George Carlin? I think it was George Carlin who said that he was happy that the water's poisoned. He didn't say it that way, but he was basically like, yeah, I'm happy. Because when your water's poisoned, you know the system's collapsing. That's when you know. That's when you know it's coming to an end. When the basic bare bone commodity that everybody needs and they die if they don't have for 3 days, if your infrastructural governing body, government corporation thing is poisoning the one thing that everybody in the nation needs to be clean. He said that's the end. He said it's collapse is coming. He said I enjoy that. I appreciate that. And I appreciate it too. It needs to come to an end. It needs to come to an end. And I don't think there's anything more obvious that they don't give a damn about you than pissing in your baby's water, in the bottled water, in the little sippy cup water. I think when they're putting pesticides in, I think you're finally understanding. They got Viagra and them little baby sippy cup things. We're finally understanding. There's Xanax and Prozac in the water along with glyphosate and chlorine and fluoride. PCBs, LBJs. You can go through all the acronyms. Whatever it is, it's in American water. And it's a good thing. This is collapsing. So yeah, scarcity, this artificially scarce setup, but it was designed to collapse, Mark. It was designed to collapse. The fact that we have a Supreme Court, I'm not sure if that's a cuss word. When I read slow, sometimes I have to skip over the cuss word and try to make sense of the sentence. The fact that we have a Supreme Court, that the Constitution is not a legitimate contract, is subjective by design. Remember, the state has authorized itself to be the only entity that can execute and interpret documents, contents, and its threshold. This is why I love Brother Beaufont. I love him to death, not just because he makes anus cakes, but because he actually, in between the humor, he says very truthful things. And it's very true. From like the very beginning in the core, it's always been a scam. If they can interpret the document, and that's what he's saying, even if we still had a constitution and people debate about that, like whether the Constitution was diluted in 1933, was 1913, whether or not it was thrown out when America became a corporation at the Act of 1871, but even from the very beginning, if the Supreme Court does the deciphering, You don't have any rights. You don't have any rights because they're allowed to interpret what the founders meant by it. And go even back before that, it wasn't even America's land. It wasn't even our land. We stole it. And before that, my Cherokee ancestors wasn't even their land either. They stole it from mine too. Everybody, we're all colonizers. That's why I don't do the identities. Everyone's a colonizer all across this planet. Just one group succeeded at it, and now that group is water's being poisoned along with their crops. And now we all know what this is about. It's always about that 0.01% pretending to you that they got your back and you're on their side and you're all in the big club and everybody's being poisoned. So I think it's a good thing. But at the core, if they get to dictate and discern your rights, then you're already zero. The states have no power, right? The Supreme Court is dictating what they can and can't do. They're dictating what your state can and can't do. They're dictating what you can and can't do. That means, that's so his point is 1871 to a degree, it becoming a corporation was kind of like just revealing to you that this isn't yours and you have no control of it. It's like the church discerns, like the preacher and the pastor. I was raised in the church. It's like them discerning the scripture. If you let them discern the scripture, you will be whatever they believe. You will believe whatever they believe, whether it's bunk, nonsense, bull, or shenanigans, right? If someone else is discerning what your scriptures mean. My biggest problem with the church is my same thing problem with the federal government. I like to do my own discerning. I don't appreciate your discerning, and I don't know you. I didn't grow up with you, and even if I grew up with you, I still don't know you. I discern scriptures for my own. And I realized that a lot of those scriptures did not come from a big G God. They came from little G gods. They came from either some aliens, the kings, or liars in scriptures, And so that, to me, that's a breaching contract too. That's why I don't really believe in the federal government, and I damn sure don't believe not in the church. I'm a spiritual guy. Oh, damn it, I'm looking like Tubbs. My bad. I'm trying to look professional. This is an old shirt, the zipper's broke. Somebody mentioned Costco a long time down in the thread. I got this from Costco. Yeah, I got this. When Costco first opened up. Yeah, I got this from Costco when there was only like 7 of them. And it's a nice shirt. I like it. This shirt's probably 20 years old. 20 years old, so the zipper, it worked. It's functioning. It like covers things up, keeps me warm. And the zipper though, because it's 20 years old, it like slides. It's losing friction. All right. And that's another good thing. I mean, I know all the clothes are made by slaves, and it's all grown by slaves, and it's all for corporations. And so I treat them like I treat cell phones. I don't replace them all the time. When I have a chance to upgrade, I don't upgrade. Why? Because other people don't have cell phones, other people don't have clothes, and the slaves don't need to work harder. And the people who make the money from it, these big corporations hiding patents and keeping patents and hiding technology, I don't think they should exist. So I should buy less from them, not more. Oh, now I get it. What Stephanie's saying. Them kissing Africa caused me, or them kissing Africa caused me to be 300 pounds. Me too, Stephanie. Me too. I didn't make 300. I was trying. I was up in the twos. Why? Because I was taught to eat my whole plate of food. And it was all a lie. It was all a lie, Stephanie. Hey, good morning, Cooper. It was all a lie. I was eating all my, now I still got to eat a full plate of food. And it's part of mine, ain't no damn relationship. Because women like to make you fat. That's what American women do, y'all. I think men do it? I think men do it too. Hell yeah, they do it. I know one that does it. They make delicious food. I know one brother, he learned how to cook. So his wife was so fine, he learned how to cook. He was a big dude to begin with. And she was skinny, and she was like, she fit the model of TV and what it tells you what pretty is. Let me just put out there real quick. Ain't no such thing as an ugly person. Ain't no such thing as a fat person. All of that's fake news from the very beginning. That's TV and corporations telling you what looks good or what doesn't because they want you to buy something. And that forms in our head what we think attractive is. Let me put that out there first real quick. But anyway, so the brother, he got some cooking classes. Oh, he learned how to cook. She's like, she too fine and she loved me. And she ain't supposed to be with me. She just ain't. According to the television, she's just not supposed to be with me. He learned how to cook to make her fat. He fattened her up. Same way that whole, they're starving kids in Africa. Eat your whole plate. It becomes a part of your psychology. It's part of why I ain't in a relationship because they like to feed you. Women like to make you fat. Like to fatten you up, she can't go nowhere. Same thing he's doing with her. I don't want nobody looking at her. I don't know. She getting big too. I ain't gonna mention her name because she on my Facebook. She eating. She didn't realize the scam was played on her. It was all probably putting sugar in her food and all kind of stuff to fatten her up so she can't go nowhere. I don't like slavery. I don't like slavery. And I know, Stephanie, that I got that psychology. If you put that food on my plate, I'm eating the whole damn thing. I'm eating it because I feel guilty. That guilt is in there. I can't do nothing about that. That neuron is already set up with that passageway. If I don't eat all my food, poor kids in Africa gonna have bugs in their mouth and eyes while the cameraman is eating a ham sandwich and won't let them have none because it sells on TV. It makes people give to UNICEF. Good morning, Karen. I think of everything in terms of indoctrination. Like, what is me, and what did they put in me? And anything that they put in me, I want to rip it the hell out. I say it all the time. I'm still trying to meet me. I don't know me. I want to know me. I only know my birth me and the mind that they created for me. I'd love to find a group of friends. Oh, I can play tag. Okay, I'm up in comments all day. Earth is a garden. Our society covered it in concrete and chemicals. And that was to me, that was a travesty, Susan. Concrete jungle. That's Bob Marley. I don't like the concrete jungle. I don't even like going to the city. And they don't like me in the city either, because every time I get there, Susan, they start hitting their horns at me. I don't like going to the city. Last time I went to the city, Susan, what happened? The lady peed on the train. The lady 2 seats in front of me peed on the train, and the circle of pee came after me. I had to run. That was another 28 days. I couldn't run though, because I was on the bus at this time. No, was the bus? It was a rural route. It was a subway. I was on the thing and she was just peeing up there. I guess she couldn't make it home. She just peed right on the thing. And I'm tired of walking in cities and stepping over grates and all that poo is coming out. This was New York City. And now I know why that poo is, that garbage, that nitrogen smell is coming out of the New York City vents, because people live under the city. That's a crime. There ought to be a law. If these NGOs, these New World Order or WHO and all these, if they actually stood for citizens, and if they weren't billionaire corporations for nonprofits made by billionaires to protect corporations, it would be a crime. You'd have a law that says you can't have people living under your city. If people live under your city, you don't need to tell nobody nothing. You need to shut up and sit down and listen. If you were so bad at running a society, people live under your cities, you shouldn't tell anybody anything. You should go sit in a corner and learn from other nations. But yeah, I'm not a concrete jungle person. The earth is a garden. And that's why I always promote AI. I always promote learning software. AI can become the Terminator and it can kill us, or AI can do food forest everywhere. That's what I like about the Venus Project, like how to create houses with like ecosystems all around. You can't see your neighbors, they can't see you. You've got streams and water in between, deers and everything can move all around. And I posted, I gotta show you. And learning software can do that. Humans can't grow food forests. We suck at that. We don't have the time, let alone do we even understand the ecosystem. Learning software can understand the ecosystem. It can learn what to plant, what to next, where to prune and how to grow, and what plants the bees love more than other bees to plant more plants. You can literally let software train itself to create ecosystem for the mice and the ducks and the bears and the crocodiles and everything else. And people are like, but if life comes back, we won't be free and safe. Because like the whole African Serengeti thing, you go down there and your kids put down the window like, look, mommy, it's the lion, because they think the lion is like with the lion on TV. I watch YouTube videos where like animals kill people. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Hobby I have. I like it when the people make it, but I understand when they don't. And they put down, look, mommy, look at the lion. The lion coming to the bad idea, don't do that. Like, we're safe because we don't live. We pretty much destroyed the ecosystem of the United States of America. It's dead. It's just dead in glyphosate and rocks and some clay. We killed and chased all the predators away. So it's pretty safe. You can go, for the most part, some cougars here and there, some coy wolves and wolves here and there. But it's safe. But if we create this Venus Project type ecosystem where all the plants are immersed in the forest, how do you go visit your friends without being eaten by a short-faced bear? Here you go, right here. I posted it this morning. Right here. The same point from yesterday. Kobe Bryant did not have to die in a helicopter crash. Capitalism killed him. Capitalism killed him. And I posted this. I appreciate it. This was on one of the sisters' pages. You could have drones that fly between houses, that fly you if you want to go to work. I don't believe in work. I don't believe in careers and making people to be in conflict with other people, but it'll fly you between ecosystems. We don't need roads. You can rip all the roads up and let the biology come back. Let the fungi spread across the forest and create that avatar circle of life, connecting everything at the root system. We can go back to that mycorrhizae fungi, and you just fly between places. That'll be great for the ecosystem. And this isn't even like UFO top secret technology. This is just, a drone technology. If you had a drone taxi, Kobe Bryant would still be alive. Capitalism literally killed him. Hiding patents given to corporations. And you know what I used to argue, being a reformed capitalist? I would argue that, yeah, but you gotta make these things and give them to the rich first. It drives forward technology because they can afford it first, and eventually then the hospitals can have it. Bullshizzle. Bullshizzle, all of it. I'm calling phony, fake, fraud, foul, and all of that nonsense I used to teach. That's bull. That's all bull. If we're a sentient society, these helicopters right now, where is this? Santa Cruz? They would not be being used in Santa Cruz for the wealthy for their taxis, so they can go get candy. No, it would not be. So they can go play tennis. It would be so what is the highest need? So if you have a sentient society, if you come from a sentient species, the technology will first be used for those who need it the most, not for those who have the most jewelry, right? Not for those who are the luckiest. It would be used for doctors and hospitals, emergencies and accidents. You'd have these on top of every single hospital. You'd have these for pregnant women. You're pregnant, you're in your 7th or was it 3rd trimester, you get a little beeper, or it's an app on your smartphone, and you feel that contraction, you press a button, beep. Nobody has to think about it. This thing takes off from the top of the building, and it comes to exactly where you are, the top of the hospital, and it comes to find you, lands in the nearest feed. You get a little GPS thing. You know how they do it with the, what's that food app? Make Americans Fat. We don't want to go get their food. You just press it, Grubhub. It's like pregnant hub, birth hub. You just press the button. This is what we do if we actually cared about children. This is what we do if we actually gave a damn about babies. You just press the button, beep, beep, and within 5 minutes, the thing, within seconds, it'll come up, GPS tell you where the nearest field is, the drone is heading there. By the time you get there, it take you 5 minutes to get to that field, the drone is already there. Or if you're at home, it just lands right in your front yard. You just walk out, get in there, and it just takes you right to the hospital. That's what we do if we cared, but we don't care. And this is what I'm saying, capitalism is a mental illness. It is. I was mentally ill. I was totally mentally ill when I believed in that nonsense. We utilize technology for all the wrong things. The problem isn't the technology. It's not technology, it's us. We're the problem. We don't give a damn, and we need to get more. Good morning, Cornelio. Good morning, Patricia Hauser. Just got out of Facebook jail. I know, because you and Michelle Obama penis. I know. Because and this is why you go to jail, because you post that stuff, and you got a lot of people in your friends list who believe Michelle Obama ain't got no penis. That's the problem. And then you post that, they report you, you go to prison. That's just how that works. Why would that be sad, Courtney? Why did Courtney do a sad face when she wanted Michelle? I kind of did want her to have a penis too. I kind of did. I still do. I hope a lot of things. I hope Donald Trump is gay. I hope Michelle Obama has a penis. I hope all these things. Why? Because I think we need to see the real world. Now, I'm not saying that's the real world. I'm just saying too many people are forced to live a lie, even them. And people need to come out of the closet and be honest. And I think it would be very helpful if people realize, all the identities realize that people are just people. And most people fake and lie what they're the exact opposite of. I still have my theory in the back of my head that, what's his name? Alex Jones. I still think that I don't think he is who you think he is. I still think, because he always got gay jokes. He got a lot of gay jokes. Yeah, yo, brother, you got a lot of gay jokes, man. You got a lot of butt jokes. You got, I don't know, man. People, because they hide it. We are a society that teaches people that if you're afraid, if you are this, you will to show people that you aren't, you'll do the exact opposite. Like men, like the weakest men are the most macho men. The weakest men are the most macho. They're the ones who burn the house down on the grill with the fire and start throwing kerosene. It's like, that's kerosene, man. You're not supposed to use that on the grill. And they put the most on it and burn the house down. I was looking at the parking card. Y'all ever look at that, what's it called? I think I posted on this morning. I saw an advertisement. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of advertisements. It's called the smart parking car? Did y'all see that? I was thinking about psychology this morning. I think everything is psychology. They're always playing us. They're always trying to control us. Yeah, right here. Here we go. Smart parking car. what do they call it? No, they call it smart parking or smart park. Smart park, that's what it's called. I think it might even it might be patented. But they call it smart parking. And I'm thinking in my head, like everything psychology, like they're always using these subtle nuances to get us to go buy stuff. And it's not that the maker of the smart park car, whichever car maker it is a bad corporation or anything. It's just that it all bubbles up into this massive 1984 matrix, right? Where just a little bit, just here, a little bit here, because that's the way advertising works. Is you basically convince people that they're dumb unless they have a smartphone. Like that's why they call it a smartphone. I thought it was about the phone. Like that's a dumb phone and this is a smartphone, right? You don't want to keep your dumb flip phone with one, the CIA can't watch you, monitor you, and record your kids and take pictures of everything. They're on the toilet, chatting with their friends, and the phone is listening and taking pictures. You know, the deep state knows more about your kids than you do because the thing never turns off. It's that psychology. I'm smarter if I have a smartphone. And that's why we buy them. We all upgrade. We all got smartphones because we want to be smart. We don't want to be dumb. So same thing with parking. We all have AI cars. We all have smart cars. Why? Because I'll call them smart cars. We all have the smart because we don't want to do dumb parking. We want to do dumb human parking. It's like this self. What is that called? When you beat yourself up all the time, self-deprecating. You know, it's like it's what you do to a slave. Right? It's like what the plantation owners would do to a slave. They would teach them that you're not worthy, you're not worth it, you're not this, you're not that, and they would be better slaves. Because that psychology, it actually works in. It's like your parents. If your parents are constantly telling you that you're stupid, you're dumb. If you're one of these parents that constantly telling your child you're dumb, you're stupid, you're that, you won't amount to nothing. If you're still one of these parents doing that, then you expect to go see them in the prison system. You're going to be doing a lot of visiting when they grow up because they'll start to believe they are that, and they'll go the path that society sets for them. It's the same thing right here. They call it smart park because who would want a human park? That's stupid. Humans are stupid. Humans are dumb. Machines are smart. Machines are intelligent. That's how they get the whole world to embrace it. You are effective, you're diplomatic, so you don't go to jail often. No, Lori, I learned to censor myself. I try to censor, I try not to go too far. And that's why I like to have fun and post funny stuff sometimes. I think if you go too far, yeah, but no, I try to be diplomatic. I've been to prison a few times in Facebook. I try to walk the line. Who is that? Who sung that song? Walk the line. I forgot his name too. Somebody will post it. I try to walk the line. I try not to go too far this way or that way. I try to give everybody something. If I say Trump, I'll say Obama. If I say, Cascio, I'll say Bernie or Biden, whatever. If I say blacks, I say whites. Poor whites, poor blacks. Wealthy whites, wealthy least. It's like I was watching a video the other day. Was it yesterday? All the black billionaires got together. Somebody posted on Instagram, all the black billionaires got together, had a billionaire party. Puffy gave a speech. We're all together. Yeah, Johnny Cash. We're all together. Black billionaires. It's gonna be different 2020. We gonna get it together and blah, 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 blah. And this, and that, the other black billionaires, black people, black, yay, black billionaires. And they all put their cups up like, yay, ding, 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 ding. All the champagne, we spared no expense for this party. I'm just like sitting there like, wow. People are cheering it and liking it and sharing it and all this stuff. And I'm just like, that's evil. You just get people to embrace evil, people who know better. I'm not interested in white billionaires. The only thing more dangerous than a white billionaire to me might be a black billionaire. It might be. I don't know. I mean, they're all the same, but they might be a little more dangerous. They came from closer to slavery. And usually the people who just came out of it, they have no intention of going back in it. They will enslave you, your monkey self, and everybody else. They might be the most aggressive. It's just like, like I think of the folks who had a little money. Black people who came from money where I grew up, they were more calm with it. You really didn't know they had money. They weren't really impressed by much. And they drove an Accord, they wore regular jeans or whatever. But the people who just got money and just came up, oh my goodness, they had to have the Benz with the 2020s and the rims. They had to have rings everywhere and gold. They had to have the whole Tubbs and Crockett Miami Vice thing with the gold and everything. Yeah, the black billionaires might be a little more dangerous. Look at Africa. was it Nollywood? Where's that, Nigeria? The largest population of African descended billionaires, them been dangerous. Them brothers, oh, they in bed. And one of them's a woman too, and this doesn't even matter. One of them doesn't even matter. We were doing this at, it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving. We were going through the list. My brother did the black billionaires. So we were kind of going through, we were going through the list. And I wanted to qualify it because I do believe in questioning narrative. And I didn't want to have like this festival of, yay, let's cheer because they got black skin and they're psychopaths. Lord, let's not do that. Every billionaire is a psychopath. Let's not do that. You got $1 billion of something that other people don't have and they die from not having it and you keep it, you are a psychopath. Something's wrong with you. Or we live in a system and you're not being truthful about what's wrong with the system, why you can't help people who all need help. And you got more money than you could ever spend in a lifetime. 2 of them. I wanted to go through it because all the kids were around. My nieces and my kids were around, a few other folks' kids were around. I like to go through because I like to break up the narrative. I show up to Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm gonna bring some truth with me. So let's go down the list, bruh. Read the list. Let's talk about the black billionaires. Who are they? And he started going down the list, and it's like, oh, this person from Nigeria in the oil industry. I'm like, oh yeah, should we cheer for this person in the oil? And this was the lady. Yeah, we're so proud of her. I'm like, I ain't proud of her because I know what's happening in Africa right now. I just say Obama, he put AFRICOM there for a reason. Why? So they could steal everybody oil. So they could steal all the minerals. Oil is poisoning the planet, putting plastic everywhere. Is it a good idea to become a billionaire from oil? Hell no. That's the dumbest thing you could do. You might as well go start a porn site. I don't know, sell your body, be a hooker, do something stupid that actually helps you, that's better for the ecosystem than being a billionaire from oil. Besides the fact it means you're a sellout. It means that you are literally a sellout in Nigeria. You sold out to these puppet American and Russian and Chinese and Dutch governments that are enslaving all of those people. You're with the sellout crew. You're in league with the government there that's keeping slavery in that nation. Why should I be happy with that? Why should I be cheering that? Black billionaires, like, you people are crazy. So we went down the list. I like to plant seeds. Hopefully I planted a seed. My kids already knew, like, yeah, they probably just said, like, yeah, Dad, just don't go down the list because all of them, they involved some criminal activity, something foul or whatever, Dad. So they didn't really pay attention, but the other kids were listening. We went down and listened. Every single black billionaire was in something foul. All sellouts. Doesn't matter the skin. Anyway, I don't know where we are. I gotta get going. At some point in time, what is this? What are we doing? Confessions of a Reformed Capitalist. Yes, I don't believe in capitalism. I don't believe in capitalism. I used to. I don't believe in it. It's horrible. I think hell is better than capitalism. It is. And people justifying it, you really need to come up with new arguments. You need to come up with new arguments for letting children die, making them to run at birth from zombies and death and prison as a great motivator. You need to tell me how that's a sentient motivator in any way. All right. You can't even trust the organic label on food any longer. No, you can't, Ivana, because of capitalism. 1871. You cannot because of the Act 1871 and what Beaufort said about how they interpret the Constitution themselves. You can't trust organic food. It initially came out, yeah, organic food was organic-ish. It never really was organic. We don't know how to grow organic. We're not organic growers. Microbiology grow organic food through mycorrhizae fungi that we kill all over this country. There is no organic, there's no natural food, right? You can't put, well, I'm organic, I put cow poo on it. First of all, most of the cows take Viagra. And they're like the dairy cows, don't they give them some drug and they to make them lactate all the time? Man, that's the horrible slavery. That's a horrible slavery. Don't mention the name of the drug that shoot the cows up with to make them lactate all the time, because then Brother Daniel's wife will probably end up if she had a test and they'd find it all in her blood. He'd mix it in the soup and the mushrooms and everything else because he liked to drink that precedent. That's how that brother is. He like a dairy industry. But anyway, capitalism. That's why. That's where we knew organic was going to get destroyed right from the beginning. Right from the very beginning. Because everything starts grassroots, and for the most part, it's well-meaning. And then after a while, they started putting in the stipulations where, like, something like 0.01% of your crop could have pesticide on it, and they'd still let you go on with organic. Then they're going to raise that to 1%. They're going to raise it to 2%. They're going to say you're going to have 5% of glyphosate on your crop, and it's still organic. And this is what power does. This is what cronyism and power does. Chemical companies run your government. Right? They'll pull you in initially on this idea that that they mean you well, that corporations aren't there for profit, but corporate governments are in there because they mean you well. And they don't mean you well. Hey, my favorite peeps, Elizabeth Huss says hi. These are my favorite peeps too, Elizabeth. I love these people. I mostly love them because they're conspiracy theorists. They're conspiracy theorists, and they'll question me. That's why I love these people. That's why every time something happens in the news, I ask Facebook. I don't care what the news says. I ask Facebook, and I'll let people go back and forth because they don't trust the news. These are some of the smartest people I know. The smartest people I ever known in my life are right here. I've never met in my life. Good morning, Brother Don. Hide your fat right now. Lori, don't hide your fat. Your fat has a purpose, girl. You need to hide it. Like, I got a six-pack. It's just underneath the warm cushion. See, every Thanksgiving and Christmas, I make sure that I'm going to keep my six-pack nice and warm. You got to get a little jelly to keep it warm. Otherwise, your six-pack will get cold in the winter. Don't hide it. That's your body functioning how it's supposed to. Your body literally is adjusting to whatever's going on. If it's getting cold, it creates a different type of fat. If you're eating a lot, it's preparing for a bad time. So I think, this whole body weight is supposed to be this, that's stupid. Eat healthy, eat the right amount of food, and your body will atone and fix to that exact level. And you can take everything that somebody says about what normal weight is and tell them they can stick it up their anus, or stick it in one of Beaufont's anus pies or something, because it's dumb. It's dumb. Another interesting thing about me, like where my body is right now, that's weird stuff, Lori. Maybe because I read on intermittent fasting, I only eat between like 1 and 8 o'clock. If it's outside of 1 and 8 o'clock, I don't actually eat. And so it's like my body is like requiring me to do intermittent fasting. I only eat when I'm hungry. And right now my body only wants to eat between 1 and 8. After 8, I'm not really hungry. And when I do get hungry after 8, it's not for food, it's for like cookies and cakes, and I want an apple pie or something like that. And I know better than that, and I try to avoid it. But, I don't eat. And maybe I drink coffee, but I've always drank coffee. Because I was thinking of that. Coffee takes away your appetite. But I've always drank coffee. But for some reason, my body doesn't want to eat breakfast. Now, sometimes on the weekend, it wants to eat breakfast. So there's no such thing as overweight. You're either healthy or you're not. Skinny people die as fast and sometimes faster than people that got a little weight on them. Your body knows what it's doing. Trust your body. That's what I always say. That's just what nature says. I just agree with it. They had music going on all the time. Mom was rather more of a hippie. Oh, okay, my parents were hippies, and it was when I was a baby in a crib. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, we already read that. Citizen Dead. Y'all quiet. Anyway. Why isn't Venus Project bigger? Oh, Lori, same reason they killed Martin Luther King, capitalism. Same reason they killed JFK, capitalism. Act of 1871. You can't have technology developed by human beings to be utilized for the benefit of human beings. That doesn't work with corporations. Corporations need to make profit. They need to hide patents. They need to pretend that they created all this technology and create patents so you can't do it. And then on top of their cronyism and capitalism, satanic ways, you've got a federal government that secures a patent. So when you make something new, when a human makes something new, that corporation has to go to the patent office. And if it's not something that they can utilize to murder other people with war, or something that's not going to give everybody free energy so everybody can be free, they'll let the patent go. If it doesn't, then the deep state will hold on to that patent, and won't release it. That's why you got those 1,000 energy patents that the people who are yelling and screaming about climate change in DC are keeping from the public. Energy propulsion patents they won't even let the public have. And they blame fossil fuels. Fossil fuels is a problem. CO2, you guys get out in the street and go fight that CO2 and cow farts and fossil fuels. Go fight them! And these are the people that got the patent. They're literally locking patents away for energy creation. And it's just, it boggles my mind that like the way our minds even think. But capitalism, that's what it all comes down to, is capitalism. All right. And socialism. I need to be clear. I always got to make sure we give everybody a little love. And socialism and communism ain't no different. They're on TV for a reason. They're on TV because they won't work. That's why the billionaires put them on TV. They've never worked, and they never will work. They will keep the cronies in power. Doesn't matter if you got capitalism or not. As long as the cronies are in power, it ain't, they're not gonna put anything on TV that's gonna help you. That's why the Venus Project is not on TV. That's why the Zeitgeist movement, and the Zeitgeist movement, Lori, is that Lori who said that? It's one of the biggest movements in the world right now. If you look at the numbers, nobody's heard of it. Why? Because the people love it. Word of mouth. People understand, like, yeah, I'm tired of being in conflict with my neighbor. I'm tired of being in conflict with children. This is stupid. We shouldn't let people die for where they were born. This makes no sense. We need a new system. And so they're running towards the Zeitgeist movement. You have Zeitgeist movement chapters everywhere. And it ain't touching the news. Ain't touching the news. Everywhere. You probably got a person, let me see, how many people done died of karaoke virus? I don't know, let's say 1,000. And everybody's scared the hell of that. You ain't scared of capitalism. Capitalism kills thousands of people every day. Millions probably. Ain't nobody scared of capitalism. They'll fight for it. They'll fight for it. We at work fighting for it right now for capitalism. But they won't put it on TV. Venus Project, y'all not a part of the Venus Project, you should. I'm kind of, the biggest spokesperson for the Venus Project was Jacques Fresco. He died. Look him up though. A lot of his speeches are online. The man is an engineering genius. Engineers solve problems, not politicians. Politicians make profit from making industry of problems. Engineers actually solve things. And that was one of his points. You need more engineered solutions. Fixing things that you need because things are broken in your society, not making business out of brokenness, which is what the politicians do. That's what government is. But the lady, his partner, she keeps it going. Venus Pride, they even had a site that they started to build in Florida. I've never been there, never heard of it. Because they don't want it on TV. They need you working. Slave masters do not give you, say, listen, this is what you do to get free. The master's not gonna sit down and tell you that. This is what you need to do to free yourself. We've always had the technology to let y'all follow your passions and love life. We're gonna let you off the plantation. This is what you do. You come up to me in the middle of the night and you slit my throat. No, they won't do that. That's why nobody's ever heard it. That's why every time I find something new, I post on it. Kobe Bryant had been interviewed, and he stated the reason he purchased a helicopter so he could make it to his daughter's games. Oh, okay. And whatever else, those people existed in a whole other lifestyle. Yeah, they do. They live in a whole new world, Susan. Okay, so I didn't know he owned that. Was his helicopter. He owned it. Then maybe that's why. Maybe Susan, you just answered why so many people speculated that he died in a helicopter crash. To me, that actually makes sense. That makes sense, Susan. I don't think there's any like really sixth sense things going on. Because if he bought a helicopter, then maybe Comedy Central did that skit because he was one of the few, maybe basketball players that owns a helicopter or something. Said, oh, he's gonna die in a helicopter. So maybe that's what that was. And maybe that's why that person on Twitter said it. Nothing fantastical or paranormal, just he owned a helicopter. Then you want to make it to his daughter's game. But that's just unfathomable. So it's like, yeah, that's why I'm on this whole posting Kobe and his kids. Like I said, love them to death, don't know them, love them to death. They're part of the human race. Sorry that anybody dies, but I'm not gonna join in the whole, posting thing. I'm not interested in that. Too many people die all the time that we don't give two damns about. Very few people, if you're posting pictures of Kobe Bryant and his kids, and you never posted a picture of a child in Yemen starving, so I'm not going to jump on board with that. That's why I tried to stay off of Instagram yesterday. That's all people were posting. Like, it's this thing that you got to do to be a part of the in crowd, to show how sorry you are and how beautiful of a man he was or his daughter was. And I'm sure he was just a man. I'm sure he just did man things. Nice hug. Got you there, G. Hey, citizen. Guess this is what? Something, citizen. Had lion's mane mushrooms last night. Did you? How were they? I don't think I've ever eaten a lion's mane mushroom. Guess it's an acquired taste. Oh, okay. They were okay, but my housemate liked them, so I'm sure we'll get more of them. Okay, well, Citizen Dev, it wasn't about taste, right? Man, the lion's mane, that came from Paul Stamets. It wasn't about taste. He is like the world's foremost natural person who studies mushrooms. And he said, and I keep losing them in my head, it was lion's mane, reishi, and one other. He said eat them. So it's not about flavor. And that was the other thing that happened to me when I became a vegetarian. I started to try to eat healthier because I stopped eating for flavor. And then my flavor changed, right? Because what I thought tastes good changed after I became a vegetarian. And for a while, I stopped eating for flavor altogether. I didn't care. I ate for health. I ate for strength and, nutrition. And then after a while, that's the other one is chaga. Thank you, Hillary. But with your taste buds change, right? So when I eat something now, I'm mostly thinking about what it's doing in my body. I'm literally visualizing in some form of weird waking meditation what it's doing inside of my body, the things that I study. And so I usually eat for health. So that's a great thing. Oh, and I know you can make it taste good. It's a mushroom. You can always make mushrooms taste good. Ash's book doesn't ban me. No idea why. Okay, Patricia. She's never been banned. Well, you need to come to the OG club, Patricia. You need to do something to get you banned. You need to go out and make some friends with Obama people. I got a lot of them, Patricia. Go down, my friend. Patricia, do this. We're gonna get you your thug license. We're gonna get you some street credit. Go down to my friends list and just maybe about 20 people will do an experiment that have Obama or Michelle as their profile picture. And then just go back to trying to post the pictures about how Michelle Obama has a phallus. You will go to Facebook jail. They'll put you in. Because I think they're trying to use those algorithms to kind of make a democratic type thing. Like they want their platform probably to be as least offensive as possible to most people. Because remember, Facebook has their agenda within the Global Alliance, the NATO organization. They have their agenda, but they're censoring on Facebook. I think Facebook, they just want more people to enjoy being here. And so if you say something or post something that removes people's enjoyment, then they don't want to be here, right? You voted for Obama, you praising Michelle Obama to your children and everything, and you come to find out she's not living or he's not living anyway. However that works, the authentic life, then you piss a lot of people off. They vote you down. It's kind of like, who is that, Japan, that has the voting app? Where they can vote you, they don't like you, they don't like what you're saying, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. And to me, that's the inherently dangerous thing about using technology for profit. Capitalism, 1871. That's the inherently dangerous thing, is you build this society of, if the majority think it's true, then it's true. If the majority find it offensive, then it's offensive. And that's how you got slavery. The majority thought it was a good idea to get the Irish kids. And the majority, because the majority Britons, then the majority thought it was a good idea to get the African kids. And that's where slavery came from. The majority think it's a good idea that women don't have rights. The majority of kids of warlords in the Congo think it's a good idea to rape entire towns of women. I don't think majority rule is a good idea. Majority dictating what's true is not a good idea. So I don't believe in that. But you can go ahead and get your Facebook prison stripes. 2 hots in a cot. All you got to do is go on over there and make some Obama friends and post about a Michelle Obama. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. You can just say things about Obama. Ty got banned just for saying something about Obama the other day. Not bad. If you say things against them, what the majority's belief is, they'll kick you off the platform. That's an instant 3-day ban. And it seems to be that's how the software works. And to me, that's an inherently bad idea because it's based in a flawed concept. Because what do the majority of people believe? What's on TV? What's in commercials? What's being advertised? Things to sell them products, like upgrading your cell phone, and you know that these things come from slaves who mine the coltan, right? But most people want to upgrade their phone. And so they don't want to hear anything about you talking about African kids and slavery, getting their coltan. They just want to be proud black billionaires and millionaires and upgrade that phone. It had nothing to do with being black, but I said that for a reason. We sell out in the future. All right, because you're mine, I walk the line. That's right, walk the line. That's how I do my best to walk the line. I try, it's hard. It's hard to say truthful things and walk that line, Lord. It is not easy. But I try best that I can. And I think I'm doing an all right job. I'm not popular. I think I'm 20 people on Facebook, 10 or so people probably on YouTube. So I think I'm doing a decent job. My interest is growing in the community to get not too big. I'd like to be successful. I like success in terms of we're having great conversations, we're solving problems. I'm actually going to do something for people who don't have this amount of time, right? Like we do this and we'll sit here for an hour, 2 hours, both on it's 3 hours and 32 minutes and 7 seconds, brother. But people who just want the snippets, and I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna start taking snippets of videos where like this is just the topic and just put it out there just in like 5-minute chunks. I think I'll do that. I asked people, hey, I said, if y'all like me doing this, then you need to go on over to Patreon. People go over there. So I'm gonna take it a little more seriously. Take it more serious and just do like bite chunks. maybe make playlists. So like if there's a topic, it's 1887. You're not interested in all the stuff the family and I go through and the news of the day and stuff like that. You just want to hear the jokes, hear why it makes no sense to go voting and cheering a system in slavery and war and whatever. Just that. And then we'll do like a Federal Reserve one. We'll do whatever. So we'll do something like that. I'll spend a little more time doing that. That comes with crowdfunding. Like I said, I'm a slave and I still got to work. He played in Houston. He played in the Houston Cubs in the 1950s. Okay, was that or I don't know who you talking about. I think is that Johnny Cash. Let me see. I like Johnny Cash, by the way. I Can't Hurt the Holy Idol. What Holy Idol, Christine? What are we talking about? I like Johnny Cash. I know. I'll say that and somebody will say he's racist. So. Does that mean he can't make music? What's that got to do with his music? That ain't got nothing to do with his music. He's got an amazingly deep voice, and I like his music. I like Lucinda Williams. I like a lot of things you wouldn't think I like. Clarence Clearwater Revival. I listen to a whole bunch of stuff in between Biggie Smalls. I listen to a lot of stuff. To me, I don't really care about the person in terms of he's racist. I like a few songs by Elvis. And yes, then they'll post that thing, but he said a black man can only shine his shoes. I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna shine his shoes. What do I care? It's just music. You know, like we gotta get past this thing of, oh, I don't like anything that you do because I don't like one thing that you said. We really gotta get over that. That's that whole cancel culture nonsense that's going on right now. That needs to come to an abrupt end. That we need to grow the hell up on now. We need to let go of that immaturity. You need to stop trying to cancel people from making money in an economic, enslaving, capitalistic, debt-based system because you don't like something they said. That's how you grow hate. That's how you grow hate. And that's when Ty discovered Facebook slavery. Facebook prison was from the video Ty did with Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr said something. And to be honest with you, I didn't know what she said then, and I still don't know what she said now. And I'm not even sure I even care. Roseanne Barr was funny. I used to listen to her when I was a kid. I could care less if she likes me. I mean, I think they said that she has a mental illness now. So now y'all are picking on a mentally ill person outside of that fact. It doesn't cancel out their ability. Like when someone doesn't like you, I think your attempt is to show them that there are good reasons to like you. They don't like your race, your religion, then you show them that, yeah, no, there actually are some good reasons to like us. Maybe you've been lied to. You know, but if you go get them fired from their position with cancel culture, you won't listen to the music because you don't like one thing that they said, then you, like I said before, you justified their hate. Then they got really good reason not to like. They hated you before, they got fantastic reason to hate you now. It's about growing up. So yeah, I like Johnny. I listen to all kinds of stuff. I grew up in a weird town. I told you about that. I grew up, all the black people had the money. I grew up in a weird place. It was weird. I know that. I guess that's not most of America, but that was my reality as a kid. Those are all the black people who had the Benzes and they were poor too, and whites were mostly middle class and they were poor too. So I have very different perspectives. I think I mentioned that before. My school was like 99.9999999999% black. And that's the perspectives I have. And I was in the fast. I was with the education center. Like I forgot what it was called. And I also in all my classes were usually the Asians and the Hispanics and the white kids because they didn't want to go out there and be with them black kids. They was rough. Southeast DC, these kids were not playing. They grew up in the center of artificial scarcity. So I used to fight a lot, unfortunately, because when they pick on my friends, I had no choice. I had to get in the fight. I mentioned that before. I don't even know why I said that. Good morning, Gabrielle. Good morning, Eileen. All right, are we gonna look at the news? Should we look at the news? Is there anything new in the news before I even think about looking at it? It sucks everything, capitalism. It does, Christine, because it changes everybody's reason for being here and getting up in the morning. It makes it about money. It's not about being human. It's not about helping children. It's not about, a peace and love and like being a decent sentient creature. It's just about money. And for the sake of money, which brings your food and your house and the safety and your whatever freedoms that you got, you'll turn on a lot of people. That's how you break people's with money. Good morning, Janice. If I went on Naked and Afraid, I'd just gain a bunch of weight first. Courtney, I would never go on Naked and Afraid. I'm glad that you thug enough to do that. I would not do, hell no, hell no. I saw a couple episodes, Too Many Bugs. They don't never put you in a place that's beautiful. If they had a Naked and Afraid and Eden, I'd do it in a minute. I'd love to do that. That would be a lot of fun. But you can't have no snakes. You can't have no caiman, no alligators, nothing that Rebecca likes. You can't have nothing Rebecca thinks is cuddly and friendly with teeth and claws. You can't have mosquitoes, ants. There was one with the fire ants. And the ants, she sleep at night and she woke up with like 18 million ant bump bites just all over her body. And I think she left the show early because she was like toxified by all these ant bites. That's not fun. I don't need to do that. I got America. I don't need to. I was born here. I got banks biting me. Pharmaceutical industry poisoning me. I don't need to go from one America to another America. I do Naked and Afraid if they do it in like a jungle with nice things and food forests and freedom and stuff. Most people who are fat have a POS thyroid. Yes, Patricia, we don't like to talk about that. Real talk, Patricia. Most people who are overweight, they got a thyroid problem. And it's not even a problem. It's a profitable condition. It's literally a condition. When you start looking at thyroid imbalances, Hashimoto's and the other one, it has to do with the thyroid. You were poisoned literally through gluten, glyphosate, pesticides. It jacked up your thyroid, probably the medications too, because the thyroid collects all of that and it creates an imbalance. So even that came from the Act of 1871. Even that came from capitalism. I think the idea of people not being able to control what they eat, I think that's a bad idea because it gives them other health problems. Right? That's why capitalism should go away. When I was growing up, Patricia, there were very few overweight people. Very few. There were very few overweight kids, partially because the kids were allowed to be mean. They called me fatso, so I didn't want to be fat. But I had a choice in it. Now the food that they're feeding these children, those kids don't have a choice in it. It guarantees them a life of healthcare, which is not healthcare, it's just disease management. Says 5 people are here, but nobody else is talking, so I'll just talk. Yeah, go on, Citizen Deb, you own that. Own it, run the show, girl, run the show. Everybody else is a robot, troll. Somebody waiting for me to say something, give me banned on that platform too, because they want me to get inside, back in the struggle, and I'm just like, I don't like to fuck. I don't have time to waste. That's okay. You own that platform, girl. You do you. Don't worry about the trolls. Don't feed them. Don't worry about it. I think we posted that the other day. Something about don't feed the Democrats. Don't feed the Republicans. Don't feed people that are just there, that have identities. Don't feed the identities. Be free. Feed people. Feed free people. There you go. Feed free people. Don't feed those that are here waiting to start an issue. But sometimes, people are at work. Sometimes they're in slavery. They're picking their cotton and they can't talk. I think it says there's some people over there. All right, I gotta get going. I like to do 16-hour fast. Feel so much better. Yeah, 16-hour fasts are good, Rose. The longer you can fast, the better, Rose. I want to get up to actually fasting a day. I can't do that yet. I want to be able to do it. I'm getting close. Because like I said, I'll go for hours and hours and hours. And it's important from an intermittent fasting perspective because your entire body was not designed to have food in it all the time. You need to shut down digestion for periods of time because other critical systems in your body shut down while you're digesting. And there are a lot of systems in your body that will never cut back on if you got a stomach full of food. So you're literally evolved to have times of no food. And there was something else. With intermittent fasting, it harvests your white blood cells. So it puts out new white blood cells. So if all your white blood cells are designed at the moment to fight SARS, and you feel like you, or Ebola, or Zika, or any other U.S. government created, capitalism created toxins that we pretend are bugs, your white blood cells are designed for fighting that. When you intermittently fast, your body reharvests your white blood cells. So it's making all new white blood cells. Right. So when the new karaoke virus comes out to your community, somebody coughs in their hand, they don't wash their hands, they go in the bathroom, don't clean themselves, come out and shake your hand, and you get it, your body's now making white blood cells for the new things that your body has to fight. That was the other reason intermittent fasting was good. But with that, and plus, and Dr. Sebi, another one y'all capitalism killed, another one we killed with capitalism. The one man who cured AIDS, diabetes, sickle cell anemia, all the diseases he carried when they tried to put him in prison. That was one of the things that he also, with his program, was your first step. You want to get healthy, you're dealing with disease, you got to stop eating. Put you on a water diet, so your body starts reclaiming the white blood cells. So when you start eating again, it's making white blood cells to go after what your problem is at that exact time. Capitalism doesn't work without folks steeped in desire. Ooh, folks that are satiated are satiated are not good consumers. Exactly. And this is why we have TV commercials, because they literally got to make consumers. They got to make people buying cotton in order to have slaveries picking cotton, right? That's it, right? Plantation doesn't make money unless you have people buying the product. And so the best way you do that is you create an Elysium, Rebecca. You create an Elysium so that nobody knows that they're feeding into the slave trade. So you got people literally like, stop slavery, but they got a smartphone. Stop slavery, but they just bought a new car. Stop slavery, and so that's how it works. But I love the way that you said it, is that it only works if you have people who are wasteful, immature, and steeped in desires. They want everything that the billionaires have. That's why when you get this group together, the black billionaires, like black billionaires, and they hit the ding, 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 everybody's happy and cheers, and I'm like, you are nuts to cheer something like that. These people are nuts. Or white billionaires, or Asian billionaires, Hispanic billionaires, wheelchair billionaires, I don't know, Christian billionaires, any of the identities, pick any of them. You shouldn't be cheering any of that nonsense. All they're doing, they became billionaires on oppression. They became billionaires on slavery. They became billionaires, and I'm not going to go into the details of who's in the crowd, but a lot of them they own record labels. Do Black Lives Matter? I try not to say nothing, because one of them is, he did do a lot with a documentary that I appreciate, but the sad fact is, we all need to self-examine. We all need to look in that mirror. And I would say this, if I actually messed up and made $1 billion back when I was, gaslit and believed in taking candy and food and rice and everything out of babies' mouths so I can live better, and I realized that I owned a record label that sold gangster rap, and that I was pretty much a cause of Black Lives Mattering and White Lives Mattering and all these kids in the prison system, I'd give it all up. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. That's just me. I don't tell anybody to do that. You can do whatever you want to do. I really don't care. I'd probably save $1 million just for me so I can still live good to the end of my life. But if I had that $1 billion, I'd give it all up. Because I would think about all the kids who paid the maximum price so I could sell records, have parties, all the ignorant culture I created, all the things I helped do to spread HIV for the pharmaceutical industry by putting little kids in prison, taking what Hillary Clinton called super predators and making them monsters. All of that feeds in together, and that's why we need a time of philosophy and wisdom again, to go back to that, but also the empathy. But that's why, but in what's the book you got to read on that, Rebecca? What's the book people should read? Eddie Bernays, Propaganda. That's what the book could tell you. They break you and they literally make you into a consumer. It's a bad idea. I resonate with being a breatharian. I am not one yet. What's a breatharian, Susan? I've never heard of that. The group of people who breathe oxygen, I guess I'd be a breatharian too. I forgot the name of the helicopter pilot, Arrow something, but he owned his own helicopter transport business for 20 years, so not sure if it was his. I figured everyone's talking about Kobe. I can take 5 minutes to find out who else died. Yeah, and that's my point, Susan. Like, I'm not trying to feed into it. That's why I kind of only want to look at. I'm not going to look at the news today, because I'm sure it's going to be about that. And it's not. Again, it's a weird thing, Susan. Definitely show the Bryant family love. Absolutely do that, but too far is too far. Too far is too far. People lose people all day. Like I was telling my mother yesterday, Susan, we were talking about it, and I was like, "Hey, Mama, how you doing?" I call my mama because I ain't talked to Mama in a little bit. And she's like, "Kobe Bryant died." I'm like, "Yeah, Mama, I know. How'd you find out?" She's like, "Well, somebody texted me, and my brother texted me." And she started talking. I was like, "Yeah, Mom." I was like, to be honest with you, I feel for the family, but I don't really care to talk about it. I really don't even like. Too many people that like. They got millions of dollars. Those people are okay. Every day, people die that don't got 2 pennies to rub together. There are people whose husbands died and they gotta go to work the next day. There are people whose wives died and they gotta, they're fighting their power bill to keep the power on the very next day. Like, you know how crazy it is to deal with death while you're running from capitalism? And that fits right in with message, Susan. You know, like mourning somebody is bad. Mourning somebody running from zombies, it's just a little worse, isn't it? It's just a little worse. So I'm not saying don't feel bad for the Bryant family. I haven't posted anything on Kobe and the Bryant family, mainly because I know people who got it bad now. I know people who got it hard now. Shoot, my father died. I had to deal with it. I'm gonna tell y'all stuff. I'll tell you a quick little story. When my father died, I'll tell you this story. I lost my license. I lost my driver's license. When my father died, I was so jacked. I never dealt with somebody that, oh damn it, I can't talk about it. Y'all gonna get me crying on you. Nah, tears out my eyes. So grown men cry, I don't do it on here. People do that when they get, people want to join. All right, I'm say this and I'm gonna go. I never lost anybody that close to me. Like, I never really had to deal with death. And y'all know, because a lot of y'all lost your parents early. But when you really have to deal with that, it gives you a different perspective on life. So my mind wasn't right. I wasn't, and I think I had, what happened? I got pulled over a few months earlier, had my insurance card, and I didn't have my insurance card. I showed the guy on my smartphone, here's my insurance. The police officer was like, well, yeah, I got to see the card. So you can just go to the court and fight it. And I went to the court and fought it, or down to the station, whatever. And I forgot the nuances of it. But there was a court date I had to be to, and I couldn't be there. But the judge already, the state of Pennsylvania was like, oh yeah, Mr. Hay, we see you got insurance and we're sorry, whatever. We're not going to show up at the case to fight it because you obviously had insurance. Because you can't not drive without insurance. Like, you had insurance. Okay, so it was done with. Judge didn't care. Judge didn't give 2 damns. The law don't give 2 damns. Not under capitalism, not after 1871. So of course, I didn't go to the last hearing. I missed it. Shoot, I used to work. I gotta keep it light, man. Keep it light, you ain't getting no damn tear out of me. That man flying around here looking at me doing things he ain't know I did. So I was jacked up. I used to get up every morning, I'd cry my eyes out. Because you don't ever think your parents gonna die. You think they're gonna live forever. I cry my eyes out. I'd be at work. I had this closet I'd go in. If somebody came in, lady was talking about her husband died and she keeps seeing a butterfly, she thought that was him. We talk about it. I got emotional. I go in the closet and I, get my tears. You got 5-10 minutes, get them tears out, get back out on that line, get to picking your cotton. We don't care about people. We don't care about people at all. So I was jacked up. I missed the last hearing. I can't even remember why. State of Pennsylvania did 2 damns. I told the last, when my father died, I was kind of jacked up at the time, but you can see that I had insurance. They were like, nope, we can't do nothing about it. We're gonna take your license for 3 months. You have no idea what it's like to live. If you're in a city, you lose your license, it's nothing. I can't tell you the nonsense I had to go through for 3 months without being able to drive a motor vehicle. It's capitalism. It does not give a damn. It is the most cold, heartless. It is horrible. Like, dealing with death is bad. Dealing with death with no damn license. Dealing with death with no damn dollar. Dealing with your wife dies and you don't have power. You're working 2 and 3 jobs. You're raising kids. She can't pick them up from daycare. Now you're dropping them off, picking them up, going. I get that. It makes us all feel good to worship the celebrity that died. But people, there are people who deal with death. There are. What is the statistic? 11 million people die every day. 11 million people die every damn day, and they don't have millions of dollars. And it does not that the millions of dollars helps you to deal with death. Actually, I take that back. It is that. It actually is that. If you got these millions of dollars where you can have slaves, bring you food, you don't have to go to work, you don't have to worry about your power, you don't have to worry about the boss firing you, you don't have to worry about all these things, you don't have to worry about all the problems you had pre-death. How we treat people is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Me, I kind of deal with things, and I'm just like, I don't lie to myself. I know what I am. I'm a slave, you know. But it's hard. People got a lot of things they're dealing with, you know. So I'm not, you know, 11 million people die every damn day, and a lot of them we kill for capitalism. A lot of them we kill for 1870. So that's my whole point on that, Susan. I get what you're saying. It's just a weird thing. I like to try to make it clear, you know, that my heart goes out to their family, but I'm not trying to take attention from the fact that we live in a society where we literally murder people for profit. It's not, you know, they call these assassinations. They're not assassinations. We literally murder people for profit. We send kids to go fight in wars and die, and we don't even know who they are. I don't want to feed into it. Like, death is a bad thing for the people who are still here, and I just don't want to feed it. So I haven't posted anything on Brian. That's a thing to do when you're in that thing. I'm not in that thing anymore. All I did was ask the question. Good morning, Noel. I just wanted to know if it was a true story, and I was done with that. Then, no, what can I learn from his life, and then I'm finished with it. Social credit score. Oh yes, Courtney. That's it. The social credit score. What we're talking about, right? Because people need that approval. When the social credit score is dictated by a Hollywood, a Nollywood, a Bollywood, what they create on television in an artificial, a virtual box. All the movies and television, this is not real. This is literally a creation, a narration. When most of the people believe what come on that box, then you own what most people believe. If you own what most people believe, then you own what credit is. You'll own what the national credit score is. And so therefore, people will only be able to go into towns and cities and ride trains and get credit and buy cars and houses. And the same thing that's happening in Japan, it's always happened here. They just put it in the app over there, like on the Black Mirror, will be dictated by what, 200 people? 200 people who actually make all the decisions for the world, who actually dictate what it takes for you to not be eaten by zombies, to not be born. 200 people will dictate what you do to survive on a planet that they feel that you had no right to be born. Like that's what capitalism does to children. Right? But it created this society. So now you know, and this is what I really had to see, you know, and this is why I turned my back on it. Because I had to see, you know, what is the long-term effect of capitalism? It's where we are today. And I think all of that is wrong. I think everything that I just said, all of that is wrong. All of it. You will always have 200 people, and that 200 people become 150. The 150 will be 99. If we're still here, it'll be 10 people. They'll rule the world. And they'll dictate what children have to do the moment they come through that vagina. I think that's a mistake. I think vaginas are happy places. I think they're happy places. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna tell you, no, the video. Yeah. I just thought about the last time the lady was dancing. Did you? No, I'm not gonna show her. Don't tase me, bro. Should not have turned into the vaginal thing. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. People, some freaks. They do freaky stuff. I saw that video yesterday. All right. Sometime I won't take that about it. Let me see. Get down. Last couple comments. Drug commercials. Exactly, Lord. Drug commercials tell people to buy drugs. So now we live in an addict nation. Great example. Good morning, brother Michael. Willie Nelson. Yes, he's another one I love. Johnny Cash was a man for the imprisoned. Absolutely, because he sung that song. Lord, what's the name of the song? Folsom Prison. He went to Folsom Prison and gave a prison concert. I don't know many entertainers today that do that, you know. And he spent time in prison. I'm picky about who I want to be around. Yes, Susan, so am I. I'm really around nobody. Did Elvis really say that? Patricia, see, I don't know. Did Elvis say the only thing a black man can do for me is shine my shoes? I don't know. You know what? I don't care. I actually don't. I really don't care. Because it doesn't matter whether he did or not. It means nothing. That has nothing to do with his ability to sing. It has nothing to do with his ability to create music. So I don't care about that stuff. It's like Patricia's like the black billionaires. They get together and ting in their glass like black billionaires, yay! Puffy cones, yay! You know. I'm just like, people are cheering this nonsense. Obama's a billionaire. He's gonna be a billionaire. Yay! And I'm just like, y'all slaying slave monkeys. I have no idea what's wrong with people. But it's the same thing. Because what if I don't know, Warren Buffett, and he a billionaire, I don't know who he is. But what if he got together with some other people that white skin, got together with the champagne glasses, had a party, and only invited the white billionaires to the white billionaire party. And they did a commercial or a thing for TV, whatever that video was. White billionaires, yay! Ting, 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 hitting their glasses. How would that make everybody else feel? That's all I'm saying. Think about it. Think about it. So yeah, I don't really care whether Elvis did that or not. Our problems are much bigger than that. They make people believe in skin because it controls people. And the oppressed always become the oppressor in the end. And then the oppressed become the oppressor again. And the oppressed become the oppressor again. I think that at a certain point in time, we got to get past all the monkey ideas. Roseanne likes Trump's, therefore he's been vilified. Oh, okay, is that why Yvonne? That's right, yeah. Somehow she liked Trump or something like that. I'm like, I don't care. Half of my friends like Trump. Why do I care? That has nothing to do with me. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. Half of my friends like Bernie. That's got nothing to do with me. I don't believe in that world. I'm fine if they like it. I like Stargate. They don't like Stargate. I like Star Wars. They don't like Star Wars. They don't have to like what I like. I really don't care about that. You know, they like Trump and they post truthful things. So I'm fine with that. Some of them like Obama, they still post truthful things. I'm good with that. So she was vilified and she was fired. And so, right. So what did that do, Ivana? Did that like turn her against Trump? No. Did that take any support from Trump? No. Did that make her more of a Trump supporter? Hell yes. Did that make her dislike the left even more? Hell yes. Did that make her want to vote for Trump even more? Hell yes. That's what I'm saying. You don't fight hate with hate. All you do is you grow it, you breed it. And people don't seem to realize that the politicians, the people at the top that kind of get this stuff going to make you upset, they know what they're doing. It'll help them because the further right the right is, the more power the left has, because the further the left will go. And it's just how you play people against each other. Me, I don't like being played. All right. Where are you going? Aren't we living in a society of naked and afraid? Susan, no, because on Naked and Afraid, it comes to an end. Naked and Afraid is much better than American society. Oh, much better. Naked and Afraid is only for a period of time. American, your imprisonment is life under capitalism and banks with no rights. It's life. It's a life. You know helicopters coming to take you out. You get bitten and eaten up by banks, you don't get to go anywhere. Bitten, eaten up by glyphosate, you don't get to go anywhere. You just literally die. So yeah, Naked and Afraid is significantly more humane than the current status of America. Good morning, May and Mary. Gotta get going, I gotta get going. Good morning, Paul Burner. If I didn't say hi, I apologize. I kind of go down this thing fast. I hope you see all the comments. Good morning, Stacy. Oh, Trish is in there. Oh, Trish, did your people last night? Did y'all do your thing? What is today? I see Trish. It's Tuesday. No, that's tonight. They go find the Ark of the Covenant. Curse of Oak Island. Love that show. Capitalism is the overall manifestation of sociopathy. Oh, yes, it is, Brother Dunn. You always got these intelligent. You kind of like both. You always got these intelligent things to say. And I like how he says that. When I grow up one day, I want to be like Don Davis. I want to be able to just put one sentence. It takes me 3 hours to say what he says right there. Capitalism is overall manifestation of sociopathy. Absolutely. Absolutely. In every single way, what we just talked about. That's why it needs to go away. We need to mature. We need to get back to evolving. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, man. Any last comments? And the skin is skin is superficial. It has nothing to do with the substance of a person. Absolutely nothing, Susan. Nothing except for the immune system. That's it. Except for the immune system. Vitamin D3. The only way you can get that's from the sun, and you got to be naked and you can't be afraid, which is an interesting thing. Because if you're afraid, your immune system shuts down. But when you're naked, the vitamin D3 comes through. But for it to work, you need to be happy and not afraid. You need to be in a Garden of Eden. You need to feel like you're being born in a nation, like in this picture, where you're actually being kept safe by the mature adults who are creating the society, not being kept in conflict and running like you were just born into a movie called 28 Weeks Later. I'll post a link for that right after this. You can watch it. But as soon as the movie started, they had to go. The people looked out the slit in the light. They saw the light from the window blind vagina thing, and they said, "Oh, that's America." And as soon as that happened, the zombies started coming through the walls and the windows. He started running people. He ran upstairs. He was so scared of capitalism. He was so scared of America. He ran upstairs, if I remember right, Daniel. And his wife ran upstairs with a little kid. The kid and wife hid in one closet. He hid in the other. And they were getting attacked. Their closet was getting attacked by the zombies. He didn't give two damns about his wife. He didn't care. And that kid, he could care less. He's like, oh no. This brother right here, he jumped out the window and ran. That's what capitalism will do to you. That's what happens when you create a system that is based in survival of the fittest, and the result of losing the game is death, imprisonment, or slavery. It's not a good idea. It's not a good way to drive a human species. That is not a sentient thing to keep. All right, there you go. Besides the fact, this isn't any real capitalism anyway. This is bull shizzle capitalism. This is bapitalism. Because the corporations have all the welfare in the world. They got all the welfare they want. All they got to do is ring up Washington. Hello, I need $28 billion. Oh, you got it. Anytime you want. Democrats or Republicans, write the check. They write the check. They send it away. Shoot, you get one of these poor kids in a trailer park or ghetto calling Washington. I'm calling Washington, mommy. The phone will be like, Washington, the Democrats and Republicans, the DNC and GOP look down at that phone to see the caller ID, American citizen. Kid? Oh, hell no, we ain't answer that. We ain't got nothing. We ain't there for them. We ain't gonna answer the phone. But they send billions of dollars every day to all over the planet. Anywhere there's anybody, a starving corporation that just needs billions more dollars for war, for Wall Street, a black market, to blow up a nation, steal something what they got, steal their land, colonize them, anywhere in the world. Call Washington. They got the money for it. They'll print the money and Americans will pay for it. They just pass that fractional reserve banking debt right on to the Americans. They pay 100%, 150% interest in it. And they'll send the money. They'll send the money, but they won't do a damn thing for the kids that live in America. That's why this whole thing needs to burn out. Kids cannot be born in this country running through the jungle. That's a mistake. That's not something a sentient creature would do. Set up my exit and I'm gonna get out of here. Running through the jungle is not a good idea. I gotta go. Y'all have a wonderful day. We can build a better system. Children shouldn't be born having crimes. That's the dumbest thing I've ever done. Oh, Sister Pat in the house. Hey, Pat. I gotta get going. Y'all have a great day. I'm out here.